All right, guys. Guess what time it is? It's time for Going Dutch Radio Network. Podcast number 23. Who's excited? Anybody? Can anyone hear me? Talk, anybody?
I'm pumped. I can't believe 23 shows. Wow, who would have thought it would have lasted this long?
Number 23, people. Do you know how long that is? Okay. Every week, every Saturday,
Well,
8
not
p.m.
every
Central.
not every Saturday.
Almost. Sorry, I'm kind of out of breath right now since I ran up the stairs and ran back down, so
It's all right. Whew. It's all right.
we need to fill the air. All right, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We are live every single Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central. That's right. Every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central. We have a special guest, and his name is Brendan, but we're going to call him B. Sorry. I got to say it.
Well done. That was nailed it.
Nailed it? How's your night going so far?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
No complaints.
Make sure to try to talk in the mic.
I'm trying.
There it is. I like
promise.
it. All right, B, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Got nothing.
This guy's going to be great. And as always is, to the camera's left, Blue. How's your night going so far, Blue?
Oh, it's going very well. I had pumpkin beer tonight because it's very nice and crisp outside.
Yeah,
and I
it
need
is.
a nice crisp beer.
I like it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We are live right now, hopefully, on Facebook and YouTube. That's right, Facebook and YouTube live. Please comment, chat with us. Call in 636-926-6945. That's it. It's easy as that.
Okay.
All right. So, do you guys want to list the topics or what? Anybody? Is anybody there? There they are.
I don't remember the topics. I'll be honest. I
Oh,
have
there
no
it
idea.
All right, Blue, list them.
So we got Elon Musk on Joe Rogan podcast.
Yes,
Then we have Nike just took a knee.
he did.
Then we have Hypocrites of America. 9/11.
9/11.
Fucking tragic day.
It is, man.
Has the courts gone too far?
Yes, blind justice. Does it still exist, people? We want to know.
And here's something a little bit controversial. Are the terrorists sometimes right? Terrorists sometimes right.
Are the terrorists sometimes right? Are we really going to...
I can't believe this.
What the hell do we have to
Who
talk about with
came-
that?
Who came up with this topic?
This is ridiculous.
Are the terrorists right sometimes in carrying out their attacks? Wow.
Wow.
Do we? Well, whatever.
This is going to be ridiculous. All right, let's talk about first off, because this is, I think, the newest of the news. Elon Musk. Elon Musk, people, is the... I guess, is he still the CEO, or did he sell it yet? He is the CEO, the president, so to speak, and really the founder, officially, of Tesla. He's that super smart scientist guy or engineer who's just trying to make everything in everybody's lives better. But there's a lot of controversial shit going on with him right now.
Where did this
And
guy come from? Because I really didn't hear about him until like a year ago.
Ironically, wait, who? Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, yeah.
You mean, are you fucking serious?
A year ago?
I'd say roughly, a year ago. I
Okay.
didn't hear anything about the man.
Okay, so
So we need to find the rock that you've been under. And,
Exactly.
It was a
turn
big
over.
rock. It was a big rock. I was looking at other things.
okay, for
I guess
those
Trump.
who are watching live right now and those who are watching this podcast, Elon Musk, if you don't know, which is kind of ridiculous, but
No. Let me rephrase that.
Wow.
I know who he is, but where did he come from? When did Tesla become a thing that people talked about on a daily basis?
about 4 or 5 years ago is
4 or
really
5
when it
years
started
ago?
taking off. Yeah,
Really?
Tesla. For those who don't know, Tesla is the company that makes vehicles. They're a vehicle manufacturer, just
Yeah.
kind of like Ford or Chevy. They're smaller, obviously, than Ford or Chevy as of now, but I think they'll be probably bigger. But they make electric vehicles, all electric. They're the way of the future.
And they used to be super premium, but now they're more like getting along with in line of Chevy and Ford.
Yeah, I mean, their new model that they're coming out with officially, and I think it did about 5 weeks ago or so. Their Model 3, if I'm not mistaken, it starts at $30,000 or $35,000 for a brand new
35.
car, which is the average almost for any newer vehicle. So, anyways, it's all electric car. Tesla, which is this car company, is owned by Elon Musk. He also made the Boring Company. Not saying that they're boring, but it is
Greatest name for a company
exactly
of all time.
It's called the Boring Company that Elon Musk owns, and what it is a company that builds like tunnels, digging, so to speak. And he is, as we speak, building a tunnel under Los Angeles, I think.
under Los Angeles to improve traffic at the baseball stadium there, Dodger Stadium.
Genius. That's a very good idea.
He also built a flamethrower recently.
Yes. And it was,
just because he wanted to.
yes.
He is also the guy that made SpaceX,
Yep.
which is that one fucking rocket that went up with that vehicle that was a Tesla, ironically, and is, as of right now, I think still in space
Mm-hmm.
with that astronaut guy.
And you can still watch the live feed.
Yes.
Which, like I said, that was one of the big moments in Elon Musk's career, was whenever they launched that car
I think
into
it's
space.
honestly like
No.
I'm a Elon Musk fan, but that's not why I'm saying this. That's probably one of the most important things in recent human history
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
Because
To shoot
they
a car into
launched
space.
they
It's fun.
launched a rocket and then landed it.
So that was the biggest rocket ever to lift off from Earth. The second biggest was going to the moon. Apollo 11, I think it was. Apollo 9? I don't know. But yeah, it's the biggest rocket ever. And not only that, the only reason why they put a car in space is because he wanted to. Because he could do it. You know what I mean? That was kind of the whole point. Look what I can do. Even though it looks ridiculous, I can fucking do this as a private business, not just as a whole government. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, Elon Musk is always, look after as, some genius, fucking engineer who is a multi-billionaire. He's very quiet, and I mean, I swear he's got, without a doubt, not Asperger's, but he seems kind of autistic. We were kind of talking about that earlier about this, about the studio outside. But he was recently on the Joe Rogan podcast, which I know B and me love. We're diehard fans of Joe Rogan. At least I definitely am for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just on his podcast on Thursday. Not that big of a deal. But guess what, people? Elon Musk smokes weed on his podcast.
Musk.
Now, remember, he is involved with all these stocks, and there's so much fucking crazy shit, right? And, yeah, he smokes weed. Do you think it's that big of a deal, guys? That he
Not-
smokes weed on the fucking podcast?
Not at all. Zero
Well,
problem.
I mean, in my personal opinion, no. But I think to the stockbrokers, maybe it's a sign that he's breaking down.
What do you mean breaking down?
Well, because he is the face of his company, and
Okay.
if you're looking to get clues about where the company is going, you look at Elon Musk, and if he's on Joe Rogan's podcast
Right.
and he's smoking weed, and of course they have the freeze frame on him going, like that's
Token it.
like that's basically the picture that was in the New York Times.
That is the thumbnail on our YouTube video
Yeah.
right when you click on
the
it.
thumbnail on the
All right.
Gotta get that clickbait
Because we're
going.
live right now on
And-
YouTube, plug.
And stock is all about very superficial things, about whisperings and gossip.
But here's the thing, Elon Musk is
It
the
makes
way
you
of the
wonder.
future, okay? He is the future itself. He is the forefront of everything. So him smoking weed, maybe that's finally kind of like that real universal worldwide barrier of, the
Look,
taboo of smoking weed. Who
I'm
knows?
not denying the man's
Come on.
genius. I know we're all going to kiss his ass on the show tonight. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that at the same time, he's a businessman as well. And if you're worried about your company stock, and I don't know, maybe he doesn't give a shit.
Right.
But you don't go on a show and you don't smoke a blunt with Joe Rogan and expect that to have repercussions.
So let me ask you this: like, if this podcast were much bigger on
Thanks.
Joe, sorry,
It's okay.
It will be someday.
It will
someday.
be, people.
But I mean, if he was sitting over in the empty chair that we have right now, and he wanted to drink a Schlafly's with you,
Right.
Is there any problem with that? Because we have to also remember that Joe Rogan's podcast is based out of California,
Right.
where smoking marijuana is as legal as
Yeah.
drinking weed or drinking weed. Goddamn, drinking a beer. So, is there necessarily a problem with that? Like, is there a problem with him just chilling and having a beer with whoever
Well,
he's on the podcast with?
Exactly.
Once again, this has everything to do with the image that he's presenting to the stockholders.
Here's the thing.
It's about the image. It's not whether it's right or wrong or hypocritical. It's about he just talked about going private with the company.
Yeah.
And there was a big
Are you trying to say that Elon Musk might be having like a midlife crisis or something? What the
he
fuck?
could be
Come
having
on.
some kind of mental breakdown, which once again we're only getting snapshots of it through the media.
Right.
And if you're getting snapshots, the last snapshot you saw, like I said, was the freeze frame photo of him going like this with
Smoking
the
a
blunt,
blunt.
looking stupid.
Ooh,
So-
really looking stupid, huh?
Well, I mean, if you're
All right, man.
if you hold stock in his company, you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Why
Right.
is he smoking a blunt on the Joe Rogan show?
Well,
Like I completely.
It's not savvy.
I do agree.
you're not savvy.
Fuck you.
I agree with you. Like, I mean, you're making really solid points. It's just I don't agree with the shareholders that necessarily believe that.
Oh,
you
well,
know,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, the shareholders need to kind of get their panties
Well,
out of a bunch
actually,
right
I
there.
Here's the thing:
would,
that the shareholders are just trying to make money.
I would buy
which I get.
stock in it right now since it went down.
Because
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it is about to skyrocket.
I'd
Definitely,
fucking, I'd be buying it right now.
they're
Baby.
going to go to space. Get it? Ironically, all right, guys.
How much is a share, by the way?
It is $260.63.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
Too much for my blood.
yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. So let me play this video.
Hopefully, he keeps smoking weed. We can buy some.
And
stuff.
this is right now, guys. We are watching. We're about to watch the Joe Rogan podcast, and we're going to watch Elon Musk take a hit of weed, which is so taboo apparently. But you know what? It's not that bad. Let's be honest. All right, let's play the clip. Hopefully.
But like, try to put a joint in there, close it. You can put like one blunt, one. But it seems pretentious.
It's Elon Musk on the right,
You know?
Joe Rogan on the left.
That's the idea behind it. I bought it when I was in Mexico because I figured it would be a good size.
We're
Double
watching
joints.
Elon Musk about to hit some
Or
weed. Look at Elon Musk.
So is that a joint?
Is that a joint?
Or is it a
blunt.
cigar?
No,
Okay.
it's marijuana
it's
inside
weed.
of tobacco.
Oh, okay. So it's like pot tobacco
Yeah.
posh.
You never had that?
Yeah, I think I tried one once.
Come on, man. You probably can't because it's stock.
Oh, look at that. Damn, that's a big
I mean,
fucking
it's
spliff,
legal,
dude.
right?
It's totally legal.
Okay.
Here it is.
How does that work? Do people get upset at you if you do certain things? There's
Uh,
tobacco and marijuana in there. That's all it is.
There it is.
Tobacco.
And you can tell that he's
The
smoked
combination of
Fuck
tobacco and
yeah.
marijuana is wonderful. First turned onto it by Charlie Murphy, and then reignited by Dave Chappelle. There you go.
Fuck you. No,
Exactly.
Joe Rogan. I mean,
Balances
I
it
am tired of him being like Mr. Cool.
I mean,
I'm firm believer in
alcohol's a drug. It's been grandfathered in.
Well, it's not just a drug. It's a drug. That,
All right, guys. So that is Joe Rogan with Elon Musk fucking smoking weed. Is it that big of a deal? At the end of the day, come on.
No, like
I don't think it's any more big of a deal than him drinking the alcohol that he's drinking
Exactly,
right there at the
and
end.
that's the point that Elon Musk during the show, during the Joe Rogan
just,
podcast, actually
like,
brings up.
He
Yeah,
actually was about to make that point.
yes, he was. All right, so one last thing I want to talk about with Elon Musk, the emperor of the world, or soon to be, unless this was his demise.
I wouldn't go that far.
So Tesla lost. Okay, so the podcast was truly broadcasted on Thursday. On Friday, they lost 6%. I think now it's actually 7% in one day. They lost 7% in stock. Tesla did instantly just from this fucking video. Tell me
Yep.
that's not fucking ridiculous. Come on.
No, that's how stock goes. Stock is determined by very superficial things, little tells. It's almost like a poker game. You're at a poker game
guess.
and you look at somebody who's blinking a lot or smirking or something. That's what buying stock is.
I mean, it's still 100% ridiculous that it went down because it's such an overreaction. But you are correct.
That's how
Like,
they-
that's
that's
how
how they
stock
read it.
works. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
So just imagine, like I'm like a super, stock, person, whatever. And imagine I'm, I can imagine having all these TVs around me, and I'm looking at my stocks. I'm looking at like bar graphs, charts, and fucking candlestick charts, or whatever the fuck those are. And I'm looking at my stock, and all of a sudden you see this video, and it's it's Elon Musk taking a hit. He's like, sell, 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 sell.
No,
I mean that's probably essentially what happened. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, like
This-
a few people, not the overwhelming majority of the people, but
Yeah.
a few stockholders overreacted to the situation, and that in turn made it look like it's a selling stock.
unless they're
ridiculous.
trying to deliberately deflate the value of the stock so then they can rebuy it.
Okay, give me a break.
I mean,
it
that
does
could be
happen. Like,
But I don't think that necessarily has to do with this situation. The fact of the matter is, people do not like to this day and age.
Wait a second. Didn't you say Elon Musk asked to go on the Joe Rogan show?
He did.
So he wanted to be in that situation.
Mhm.
And then Joe Rogan pulls out a blunt. He probably told him ahead of time, "Hey, Elon, I'm going to have some weed on the show. Are you cool with that?"
Smoking
He's like,
weed
"Absolutely."
every day.
So there you go.
All right, guys. When we know your thoughts, please comment on Facebook and YouTube. Is it okay that Elon Musk smokes weed?
call us.
Yeah, please call in 636-926-6945.
Hopefully he starts doing heroin, then I can actually afford
Oh
the
my
stock.
God! Could you imagine if he just started like he pulled
I
up
want
his
to afford the
ties
stock.
up.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
That's where
it
I
goes
would
down
sell.
to $10 a
that,
share.
that would be the moment that I sell.
right, dude. Talk about the fucking stock coming up. Man. Oh, man. All right, so are we done with Elon Musk?
Yeah.
The guy is such a weird name. Elon Musk.
I mean-
I don't think I think there's a possibility he's not a human.
Is there a porn actor named Elon Muff? Because I would love to see a movie with Elon Muff.
I know you wouldn't. Dirty. I like it dirty.
And let's see, we've been live for 22 minutes, so that means that we survived 22 minutes without talking about sex.
Okay, so I know B is a smoker of cigarettes, and I
Yes.
thought you were about to say like, oh,
No.
it's been 22 minutes. I need to take a fucking cigarette break. All right, this is way too fucking stressful. B, do you have any expertise on something, or is there something, any hobbies, something that you really look into that would let us really shine a light here on
Well,
this
I mean,
podcast?
okay, sorry. Yeah, like in my spare time, I do a lot of research about electronics. Building my own PC right now. Built a few PCs in the past, and
And what is a PC?
personal computer.
Okay, go on.
Good job.
Yeah.
But also, like, I mean, just electronics in general is kind of my passion, and hopefully going to be helping get some more quality in here as well. Hopefully in the future going to be helping more with the podcast, but not on camera because I'm not a very good on camera podcast.
What do you mean by that? Are you trying to say that Going Dutch Radio Network podcast might be produced? I guess is the word by B himself. You?
Oh, I hope so.
Was this the guy you were telling me about?
One of them.
The guy who wanted to.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I thought so.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just, like, this is actually really, like, sound quality wise, one of the better podcasts I've listened to be perfectly honest.
Do they use cans on the other ones? The can and the
No,
string?
not
Right now,
no.
people, I'm blushing so much.
He has a boner as well.
With it being where it is and there's not that bad of an echo is, like, super impressive, actually.
Yes.
Like, super impressive.
Decent mics. They help.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I have USB mics on my PC, and
Is-
God,
is
it
there
picks
any-
up everything.
Is there anything else about the podcast that just amazes you as well? Or is that it?
I mean, your smashing good looks is always appreciated.
Yes.
Told ya. All right, guys. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Thank you for watching us live. We try to go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. Please comment and call in. And guess what, people? We're on iTunes. That's right. iTunes. It's fucking hardcore and official. What's up?
I thought we were on iTunes already.
I just said that.
Oh.
I'm
So
just
we've
reiterating.
been on iTunes.
Sorry,
Okay.
we've been on iTunes, so
I thought
go
we were
on
new to
iTunes.
iTunes,
I'm
okay.
trying to make it sound like really, like breaking news
We're on iTunes, everybody.
in the world.
Get ready.
Yes. Do you want to hit the Nike one next, or do you want to kind of jump around? Not physically.
I actually like the Nike one next.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, guys.
because it's absolutely ridiculous.
The next topic is Nike. Everybody has heard of this on Facebook, the news, blah, 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 blah. Nike just took a knee. Okay? Can anyone explain? Blue, can you kind of explain in a small little synopsis of
Oh,
what
God.
the fuck is going on?
So anyway, Nike hired Colin Kaepernick as their spokesperson.
Don't
Colin
sound-
Kaepernick.
Don't sound so excited.
Colin Kaepernick. Well, because it's so fucking like yesterday.
Superficial?
Yeah. Anyway, Colin Kaepernick is now the spokesperson for Nike, and he is controversial because he took a knee during the national anthem during the football game because he was protesting police brutality against African Americans. And now there's this huge issue where people who don't like Colin Kaepernick's political stance are burning Nikes, and what's going to happen with Nike stock, et cetera, et cetera. It's a big cold civil war. A cold civil war. That's what we're in right now.
A civil war?
Absolutely, this
Agreed.
is civil war.
What the fuck are you talking about? Please explain.
So, I mean, the Cold War was a war without actually war.
There's
right?
no bullets. There's no
Exactly.
explosions.
And
So-
we're in a civil...
The cold civil war.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're, like, the racial tension in this country alone, that's aside from all the other tension in this country.
Yeah.
But the racial tension alone is extraordinary. Completely ridiculous.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
I
No,
wanted it to be
yeah,
awkward,
I
sorry.
mean, it is. It is.
Pregnant pause.
Okay, so Kaepernick. Now, this is the guy that once again that took the knee.
Mm-hmm.
He's the trendsetter of take a knee during the national anthem because I'm an asshole. That's what I personally think. Okay. Now, do you think it's okay that Nike's doing this, being a I mean, they're I don't know, multi-billion, but they're multi-million at least, right? Are they a billion-dollar company?
Billion?
They gotta be.
Nikes? God, I mean, they should.
I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds of
Come
billions.
on.
But say a pair of shoes costs $100, and I feel like every other person's wearing them.
And they make them for 5 cents in China.
Yes.
But
Do they?
More than likely.
yeah.
This fucking Chinese guy.
Yeah.
Why isn't that big news? Not the Kaepernick thing, but these little
Well,
fucking Chinese
that's
kids that are
kind of-
building these Nike
That's
shoes.
kind of the counter argument right
Yeah,
now
that,
against
that's
the,
been big news 20 years ago.
It should always
And
be
what
big
happened?
news. It
They
should always
hired
be big
Tiger
news.
Woods, and then it was all fine because he was winning majors.
And Michael Jordan, you know, he
All right.
he did a few things.
Michael Jordan can play ball. We're not going to argue that right now.
That guy.
Okay, so what do you guys think about this Nike taking a knee as far as, having this ad with Kaepernick? Do you think it's okay? Do you feel like it's that big of a deal? Like why, or is it the news making a big deal? Why do we want this to be a big deal? You know what I mean? Like why is this happening?
Yeah, I do think that it's an overreaction, 100%. Like the ad itself was definitely meant to ruffle some feathers for sure.
It does.
So you think it was purposely done?
Yes.
Nike's ad purposely
It
was
was-
done to piss people off.
Not necessarily to piss people off, but to definitely get people talking, for sure. I don't think any major company does anything just to piss people off. I think they have an alternative
Do
agenda.
you think
Yes.
do you think it's bad publicity
Yes.
or good publicity for this to happen?
No, no such thing as bad publicity.
Do you-
no such thing.
Okay.
Do you think, just like the Elon Musk smoking a blunt thing,
Smoking weed every day.
and that causes stocks to go down,
Mm-hmm.
do you think this will cause the Nike stocks to go up? Do
Do I think that it
a long-term strategy? Do you think this is a good strategy?
long term? Yes, probably, because
I think so too.
I mean, right now Nike stock, did it drop? Did it stay stagnant? I actually think it stayed stagnant through this, didn't it? Because at the same time that all of these, let's be honest, white people are super frustrated about this. At the same time, minorities and younger people are actually probably, willing to buy Nike more now than they were beforehand.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
this
wait,
is-
are you
yeah,
saying this
yeah,
is almost like
yeah.
a Black Lives Matter versus White Lives
Well,
Still
yeah,
Matter
I wouldn't
issue?
need-
Or what the fuck? Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
Look.
The mic is off the hook.
No,
Jesus
no.
Christ,
This is
people.
this is what pisses me off about this whole thing is that
Wow, dude.
all. God damn it! It's really loud. You were right about the sound. What pisses me off
I'm done.
is the fact that they are using us, manipulating us, both on the left and the right and the whatever, to sell shit. Because that's what this has all become. This is about selling Nikes, and this is affecting
Are you
people.
about to cry?
No, this is affecting people who are, patriots, who believe in standing for the flag during all
America,
the ball
God
games.
damn it.
And see,
And then there's people on the left who feel that Colin Kaepernick is kind of a cultural hero, a guy who really stood for what he believed in, no matter what was going to happen.
You mean need for what he
yeah.
believed in.
These are very genuine emotions, and they're just doing this to sell to make Nike a bigger brand. It's branding, kind of like, I guess,
So Nike
Trump in a way.
So in your theory, Nike is just using
It's pretty obvious.
Kaepernick just to make a sale.
It's pretty fucking
I mean,
obvious that that's what it's about.
That's any ad with any athlete for any reason, right? I mean, Nike just do it. That's to build their brand.
But the
like
whole-
any ad, for it to be politically charged is, yes, it is definitely politically charged.
Do
It's
you
racially
think? Do you think
charged
that's
even.
why we were just talking about this prior to this topic? Do you think that's why Elon Musk just did it and smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast? No,
I
I'm being
fucking
serious.
think so.
I mean,
no,
honestly,
I honestly think so.
to stir the pot. You know what I mean?
Possibly, I can't talk to what Elon was doing. I like I said, I don't think it's any more different than him drinking a beer. But with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, this even goes all the way back to whenever he did take a knee. If you had a problem with him taking a knee,
Yeah.
then you're going to have a problem with this. If you're like me and didn't necessarily have a problem with him taking a knee, I had a problem with him sitting down for sure, and so did the armed forces, who a few of them made the suggestion, hey, why don't you take a knee instead that still respects us while you do this protest?
Right.
So me, I didn't have a problem with his protest, and I don't have a problem with the ad because the ad actually has some pretty awesome words to it as well.
I personally think this whole thing was started by the NFL and Nike.
I thought you were about to say I thought you were about to say the CIA because
No,
you
no,
did it
no.
every fucking time, every fucking podcast.
Well,
dude.
no.
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
honestly, because CIA is behind a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff.
Okay.
But in this case, it's about selling goods And I think the NFL and I think Nike got together. They picked out Colin Kaepernick, who was a shitty quarterback, by the way. His career wasn't going to go anywhere. And they said, hey,
All
kid, kneel during the national anthem. It's going to cause a big fucking uproar.
All right.
And we're going to sell shoes in a couple years. That's what they did. And everybody's being manipulated.
Can
And people are pissed off about
Can we
this.
watch the
It's a
commercial?
fucking joke.
Oh my God, Jesus, man. Okay. All right, guys, we're about to watch, and we're talking about right now the Nike controversial ad that we're about to play. Please listen, watch, comment, enjoy.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do,
We're gonna get copyrighted just because of this ad.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about the music? Is the music going to...
I know.
Are we going to get flagged?
because what non-believers fail to understand,
Was
Here's
that
a-
a Nike burqa?
Here's the thing. This is not very controversial.
it's a compliment.
Like, hold on. Let me fast forward
Become
it.
an Iron Man.
Right now, people are watching that Nike ad that everyone's talking about.
Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody.
Is Kaepernick, the football player, is he even in the goddamn video ever?
He's narrating it.
But I know, but is he actually physically, is he shown?
I mean, at the end, he is.
Believe in something,
Oh, there's the fro.
even if it means sacrificing everything.
I have
When
a nice
they talk
fro.
about the greatest team in the history of
This is ridiculous.
This
That's
is the
what-
biggest fucking...
I cannot. Okay, that's actually the
manipulation
first
I've ever
time.
seen.
That really is the first time I've seen it.
It's a huge...
Like, or bits and pieces. That is not very.
they're just trying to manipulate people.
That's
all it is.
For one thing, it is not whatsoever controversial at all, except for that fucking afro. That is the only thing that's
Well,
controversial.
yeah, I mean...
That afro is a bit.
That's-
Believe me, if I was
No,
a
no.
black person,
Wait,
I'd have an
listen,
afro.
listen.
I love afro.
Can you say that exactly? That same sentence, exactly the same way, but in Trump.
And Trump, if I had an afro, believe me, I would definitely wear it. I'm not black, but I would have an afro. Big afros. I'm all about it. Incredible.
It'd be huge. It'd be
A
fucking
huge
huge.
afro.
It'd be the biggest afro
Be the
ever.
biggest afro
It'd be
you've
so-
ever seen.
All the girls talk about the afro. That's it, just the fucking afro. All right, so that was the Nike ad, and it's getting ridiculous.
No, it just pisses me off that
But speaking of Trump,
politics have become business.
is Trump happy about this commercial? I mean, how about how much flack he gave the NFL for letting their employees / players take the fucking knee
I don't
during?
think Trump's ever happy.
Okay.
Unless somebody's talking about him on Fox News, and then he probably
Right.
orgasms to it.
So we're
They're
gonna.
all involved in this.
This is gonna be a quick segue to disrespecting America.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you think it's okay as far as living in America, staying in America, but talking shit about America, the flag, and what it is and what it isn't, taking a knee? Do you think that's okay?
Yeah, I think if it is constructive feedback,
Yeah.
if it is done in a constructive way, then absolutely. I think if you have any criticism over anything, it, should be listened to, for sure.
Now, Blue, I know that you're a big conservative on this one. I know that you think it's absolutely immoral for this, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Well, it's not even funny. Be honest.
Well, no, God damn it. I mean, I
speak the truth like you were screaming outside a couple days ago.
I want to be the conservative guy here. I really do, but I'm so tired of this propaganda. Every time I go to a ball game or a fucking football game, they run out with the flags and the horses and everything. I just want to watch a ball game, okay? I didn't come here to see a big military propaganda shit to get kids to sign up to go to the next war that we invent, okay?
Would you like to know something really interesting that I found out a year ago? And maybe
What's that?
And this is during NHL games, so hockey games, right? Professional hockey games, and I'm sure this happens in all other sports. You know how during it's usually like intermissions, or it's never prior to the game starting. It's always after the the first period or whatever. All of a sudden, it's like stand up if you are if you're ever in the armed forces or a veteran, and
Yeah,
everyone starts
yeah.
clapping. Did you know it
Yeah.
actually cost money
Yes.
for the Blues
Yes.
to do that?
Yep.
Yes.
It actually cost them money. You would think it'd be the exact opposite.
No, well, yeah, I did think the exact opposite.
No, it costs the Blues money, or the Cardinals. Anytime they promote
Why?
it, it actually costs them money because it gets them more viewers.
They got to be paying money.
So much money, dude. So much money.
No.
That's kind of fucking creepy.
But they have to be getting. I was under the impression that the armed forces branches of our government were paying them money
Nope.
to
Pay-
put
pay-
the spotlight on
Nope.
whomever
No.
was
The Blues actually
No.
have to pay them money in
What
order
the
to
fuck is going
do
Now,
on?
it. Yeah.
tell me. This is the reason why I bring it up. It's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I think it's sad. I think it's creepy. I think it's immoral that sports teams, sports owners, these affiliate companies, in order to say thank you and say thanks to these veterans halfway during a game, they have to pay the armed forces just to plug them, so
Yeah.
to speak, during live telecast. I think it's
very
disgusting. I
obvious.
think
It is
it's nasty.
disgusting. It is disgusting that we have made everything about business. The Colin Kaepernick commercial is about business.
Right.
The whole kneeling thing is about business.
Speaking of Donald Trump,
Trump's
people,
about business.
Can you? Okay, so
business.
Here is a Donald Trump tweet about the NFL and what was going on with the kneeling and disrespecting the flag in America prior to the games. Can you, Blue, read Donald Trump's tweet in Trump's voice, please?
I sure will.
Go ahead.
Wait, where is it? Oh. Just like the NFL, whose ratings have gone way down, Nike is getting absolutely killed with anger and boycotts. I wonder if they had any idea that it would be this way. As far as the NFL is concerned, I just find it hard to watch, and always will, until they stand for the flag. The flag, babe.
I think Donald Trump has tweeted, I think, at least 10 different times about the bashing of the NFL and disrespecting the flag in America. But all in all, I mean, I feel like I do understand that. Okay, I do understand disrespecting America, and if you're going to live here, then respect it. That doesn't mean you can't disagree, but to fully, shun the flag, America, at least the symbol, the bald eagle, whatever. I think it's personally wrong. I don't know what you guys, really think, like, deep down inside, but I think it's fucking wrong. You shouldn't disrespect America, in that symbolic way. Okay. You can disrespect America. Maybe like, I don't like this certain thing, but to just disrespect the symbolism of America itself. Okay. You can disrespect the these statues in the throughout the United States of these these so-called
The Confederate statues?
I understand that, and I totally get why people would dispute that and why people would protest against that. But just to protest the symbolic meaning of just America, I think is wrong.
Well,
How about the burning of the flag? You think that's okay, Blue?
Burning of the flag is too
well,
far.
It's too what?
Too far.
I
think so?
Well, I think you should be able to burn the flag if you want to. It shouldn't be illegal because they were talking about making it illegal. Now, what I don't agree with is why Colin Kaepernick was kneeling to begin with. That's what I don't agree with, because there's black people who are shooting other black people every single day. Nobody marches against that until recently. They did have a march against violence in the big general idea of what violence is in Chicago.
Yeah.
But before, it was all about police. Like police will shoot an unarmed black person, which I'm totally against, which those police officers should serve justice. And in a lot of cases, they didn't. But the big problem is black on black crime, which a lot of times doesn't get recognized at all. But if a white cop shoots a black person, that becomes the big story.
Like a race thing is what you're trying to say.
It's very racial, very, very racial. And I think it's overlooking the bigger problem. The inner city violence. Where's that coming from? However, but that was what precipitated Colin Kaepernick to do the kneel. But I totally 100% am behind him to kneel. However, he works for a private company, so they can tell him to go fuck off if they want to, because it's a private company. You know what I'm saying? You can fire anybody you want if they're doing something you don't agree with.
Exactly.
So there's all these dimensions where I'm for them, I'm against them, I'm for them, I'm against them. I mean, I really don't know where the fuck I end up at the end of the day.
You can respect his right to
Absolutely
to do the protest.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to agree with it. There's nothing wrong with that standpoint.
I mean, I don't really like it because I don't 100% agree with them. I mean, if you're gonna take a knee for there's so many other things that we've done wrong as a country. I mean, really,
there's some horrible things.
A lot of this cop stuff, I think, is pretty rare, but it's put front and center on the news.
I don't know,
every
man.
single
It
time.
almost happens every single day, and I know the United States it's
Every
huge.
day?
350 million. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, at least every day, if not
So
more.
when unarmed black person is shot by a white cop every
for
day.
sure. Earlier on this year, I think we were into February, like midway through February, and we already had like 10 mass shootings. It was ridiculous.
But I mean, you have this gang crime where innocent little kids are shot. Innocent people are shot every day. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody protests that. But if a cop shoots a black person, that becomes a huge deal.
Because it's criminal on criminal when it's black on black, how you stated. But
The
here's
whole thing is criminal.
I agree. But listen, the people that are trying to supposedly protect us are the people that are shooting innocent black people for no fucking reason.
Well, the reason that they are actually... Look. First of all...
No. Go ahead with your bullshit
No,
thing that you're gonna say.
all right. You know what? It isn't bullshit. It's common sense. It's the fact that the majority of black people are killed by other black people. Hello?
Hi.
And they're killed in their neighborhoods because there's a lot of crime in there. Because there's poverty. That's the problem.
I get
That's
that.
what you got to solve.
What? No, I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with
Well,
you.
no,
that
but
it's,
they're
that it's not a
turning
problem.
your head. They're like, well, the big problem is this one shooting that happened in Brooklyn between this
When
white cop
somebody
and this black
shoots somebody, especially the people that are supposed to protect and serve, meaning
cop. No, I totally want. Like, you could say that the white cop shooting the black guy who is unarmed is wrong. I 100% agree. I think it's ridiculous. I think the guy should go to jail. And a lot of times to get off, like the Michael Brown case, that guy should have gone to jail. But that's not the big fucking issue. That's a very smaller issue. The big issue is inner city crime that no one wants to do anything about. They say they want to do something, they never do anything about it. That's why people are getting shot. And you know it.
okay, I will not disagree with you that, the inner city crime, I'm not going to disagree with you saying that, no, it doesn't exist. It definitely exists. Absolutely it does. But if you can't even trust your own justice system, if you can't trust the blue,
No, they're very corrupt.
then where do you start? If you can't trust them, then what the fuck's the point? You can't start anywhere.
And that was the point of Kaepernick's entire take the knee thing.
But it's just
was
the very
the
tip
fact
of the iceberg. Very tip of the iceberg.
It was the tip of the iceberg. But if we don't fix that one part, then
Right.
the entire system will crumble. If we can't trust cops, then it's going to lead to more violence.
I totally agree.
Well, I don't necessarily know that. I think that if you live in one of those neighborhoods, and I'd probably be the same way,
There we go.
and you know that there's someone who's going to be gunning for you if they know that you told on them, then you're probably going to stay quiet. Because
people don't fucking run in those neighborhoods because they can't. They're going to get fucking shot, or they're going to get something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, because there's no jobs over there. There is nothing for them to do except sell drugs.
But just imagine, like you're saying, you can't rat out, whenever you live in those neighborhoods because you might get fucked up by this gang, by this supposed person that's going to do harm, right? But imagine you can't even tell the cops because you can't even trust them. So when you can't trust
you might
either,
get shot.
Because if you can't trust either side, fuck it.
yeah,
Anarchy.
No.
Anarchy. Let it go.
I totally get it, and that's why they need to legalize drugs.
That was the most fucked up segue ever.
Well, no, because that's their whole market is drugs. If they're legal and people can buy them, then they won't have a market anymore.
Okay.
Then the violence will go away.
I can't even do this anymore.
It's very simple.
I quit.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. CJ quits. Guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. Thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate it. I am CJ, your host. To the camera's left, right?
Why do you keep looking at
now-
a frozen picture of yourself?
I'm not. I'm
You narcissistic fuck.
I'm so good looking. Yes, the guy who just called me a narcissist as fuck. That guy's blue to the right
Hello?
is B. His name is B. He's the guy in the black shirt. He's the guy with the glasses on. Not me. I'm CJ. I'm the
You guys have the
narcissistic
same. You
fuck.
guys almost have the same glasses too.
Mine are definitely better.
Almost.
Wow.
100%.
I don't know. We need to.
I don't know. I like
How much did you pay for your
Let's
glasses?
have a vote.
way too much. And there's a whole funny story behind it. My dog ate my glasses. And I'm like, I have to get glasses immediately. So I went to Lens Crafters and spent $400 because that was like the cheapest pair I could get.
$20.
Wow.
Without insurance.
They look like they're $20.
Oh.
Bash.
Wow.
Damn.
You knew I was going to say that no matter what.
Are those Nike?
You know how the brands are always right here. So I'm like hiding them. All right, guys. Once again, thank you for watching our live podcast. If you're not watching live and this is in the future, the way of the future, then please comment still call us. You'll get our voicemail, but listen to my voice because it's amazing. Because I'm
Wait.
narcissistic, apparently.
Hey, so since you don't like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing with the Nike,
It's just the fro.
are you not going to buy Nikes anymore or burn your Nikes? Like, are you going to protest that
Am I going to
shit?
burn my neck? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Do you... Are you wearing
Really?
Nikes right now? I think
I am.
I've got the fucking New Balance.
I'm gonna put duct tape on the symbols on the swoosh symbol. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna put a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Actually, it's gonna be huge duct tape. It's gonna be huge, and it's gonna be right on the Nike symbol. On
We're
the
just
swoosh.
being manipulated, and it's just sickening.
I don't know.
Being manipulated into a
but
cold civil
audience,
war.
people, America, we want your thoughts. Comment, call in 636-926-6945. And I just have to say, I feel like the podcast is going pretty well so far. I don't know about you. I'm kind of warm.
I'm comfortable.
B, you're
Yes.
the star guest of the show. How do you like this podcast, and how do you like the show so far?
Oh, it's always fun to watch, and it's fun to be on.
Thank you, B. Thank you.
God, that was amazing.
It's good to have him.
I'm a good flatterer.
You're good. What?
Flatterer.
I thought you said flat earther. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go again.
Please don't.
Here
I will
we-
go take a break if that happens.
I know. Speaking of,
I have nothing to contribute.
should we take a small break since we kind of burned that one? Here's the thing.
Nah.
I think the next one kind of, with the first two topics, the next one kind of ties
What, the
into both
hypocrites of
them.
America itself?
Yes.
I feel like we kind of are, talked
Covered
about it.
a little bit.
The hypocrites of America. That's why I already segued in. I mean, do you guys have any more good value, any arguments for disrespecting America? All in all, it's another
Yes.
brick in the wall.
No, I mean, I really think that we've done a lot of shit that's overlooked quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And then petty shit like this becomes the big show
So once
about kneeling during a flag.
B, you said, burning the American flag is going too far.
It's a bit too. I just think that's the ultimate sign of like you actually disrespect this country that has given you everything. Like I disagree with almost everything our current administration does, but at the same time, I still respect that they're the administration. I still respect the pecking order.
Right.
That's
Okay.
good. No, so I guess you heard about that New York Times op-ed that said that
Yes.
people in Trump's cabinet are taking papers off his desk and
Yes,
shit.
and
Okay, that's fucking amazing.
So,
I
so you don't agree with that though?
It's like kids playing with other kids. Like, oh, he just took my fucking paper.
Right. It's
You know
the
what I mean?
funniest
It's
thing
awesome.
ever.
Where the fuck did my paper go?
I don't know.
Fucking, I was gonna sign it.
It was huge. It's the biggest paper ever. How the fuck could I lose it?
I had a big pin.
If they feel like it's that big of an issue that they need to start like undermining him, then they need to get him the fuck out.
How the fuck did it make the
Well, they
news?
can't.
How did it make the news that part of his cabinet,
There was an op-ed.
Trump's cabinet?
There was an op-ed that was written and sent to the New York Times anonymously.
That's what that's always fun. Like, how the fuck? How did that actually happen? And that's fucking great.
They think it was Mike Pence.
Shut
They
the
really,
fuck.
They
yeah,
really
like
do.
conspiracy
Yep.
or like for real?
No,
they
no,
really.
they were
that's
looking at the
like-
language of the
Yeah.
op-ed, and they're
The
pretty
number
convinced.
one-
and what's the op-ed?
Well, it was
What
an
does that stand
an opinion editorial,
Okay.
and basically, I forgot what specific word it was, but Pence had used it prior, like 5 or 6 years before, and they kind of like did kind of a zodiac thing, and kind of like connected the words he was using to some of his speeches, and they're like, we think it's Mike Pence, and it's
Why?
more
Because he talks like a child.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Mike Pence. I would never vote for that guy. Okay, I
He
voted for
talks
Trump.
like- he
I'm not going to
talks like
vote
a-
for Mike Pence.
He talks like a 5-year-old. Like Mike Pence talks
I
like
know,
a 5-year-old
I know.
that
Yeah.
is at church, like that is scared to say the wrong thing.
He's a George W. Bush acolyte.
He is definitely just a puppet, without a doubt. I don't think he has any bite.
I think
Come on, let's be honest.
I think Trump is the puppet.
I don't.
Really?
No, no.
100%.
Actually,
Really?
I don't think he
Really?
is. I think that's
Really?
why they're trying to undermine him, because he actually has ideas that go against what
The
typical
very fabric of our
the whole
nation.
globalization thing. The whole globalization thing. Because all the businesses have all these contracts with all these other countries, and Trump wants to redo it, and they're scared, and they're like, "Well, we need to do something about this."
But moving back to like hypocrisy in America and disrespecting the flag, it is actually like against the Constitution of America to like 4th of July. You see like paper plates and napkins and cups and all that like are the flag. That's against the Constitution. Is that not disrespecting the flag?
How is it against the Constitution? Because it's touching the ground?
No,
or whatever?
you are not supposed to be making toiletries or utensils out of the flag.
How about a
And
vase? A vase.
Like it
How
goes.
about a butt plug?
It goes pretty far into it. Like shit you wear is not supposed
Can
to
I
be
make
in the
a
image
butt
of the
plug?
American flag.
Can I make a butt
No,
plug?
you cannot make a butt plug, Cody.
That
Can't-
looks like the American flag.
Cody.
CJ.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I forget your name all the time. It's
It
my-
happens.
It happens, but you can't make a butt plug. You can't have a butt plug. I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous.
That looks like the American flag.
You just can't have one. Period. Sorry.
I can't have a fucking.
That's un-American.
Then this whole house is going to have to be burnt down to the ground because
Yeah.
there's butt plugs everywhere and they're huge. They're huge.
I mean, do they have American flags on them though?
One of them is red, white, and blue, but it's actually called the bomb pop.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Does it make you more patriotic? That's the question.
Maybe a hypocrite, apparently. But isn't it true that the American flag, like, you're not allowed to let it touch the ground? Like,
Correct.
isn't that a fucking thing? And
Correct.
if you are to take the American flag down from a pole because it's supposed to wave in all its glory, you have to fold it in a certain way,
Correct.
like origami Chinese way,
Mhm.
which I think is kind of hypocritical.
Yep. You have
know.
to follow the proper protocol. If you have a flag on a flagpole outside of your house,
Yeah.
you have to follow the proper protocol.
Does that,
And-
does that have to be like a certain angle of the pole? I'm
Yeah,
serious. I'm
you-
sure it is.
It actually has
Jesus
to be at
Christ.
a
I'm
very
not gonna buy a
specific
flag
angle.
in my life.
It has to be a very specific angle. It has to be so far away from the house whenever it's hung up. It has to like.
Does it
you
have to
fold it.
purposely shine like at night?
Yeah,
I'm
you have
serious.
you have to have a light underneath it in order to present it. Correct.
How the fuck did it happen back in the 1800s and early 1900s when there was
They-
no electricity?
They lit candles. They always made sure that the
And
flag
then-
could be seen.
And then it would accidentally burn.
It was a
Total
call. It
hypocritical.
was a callback to the. I forget. I don't even know the national anthem, but there's a line in there that says the flag was still there.
And the flag was
Yeah,
still
that one.
there.
Keep going. Sing it like Trump.
Oh, say does that star spangled
Oh my god, you weird motherfucker!
What the fuck was that?
And the home of the brave.
the Braves.
No, the Blues, home of the Blues.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck is that about?
Mm-hmm.
Home of the Blues?
Yep.
Disrespect.
Exactly.
Total
Is that any
disrespect.
different? Is that any different than taking a knee?
I don't think so.
Listen, wait, hold on. Hold the fucking phone. I've been to plenty people. We live in St. Louis. Our hockey team here is the St. Louis Blues. Okay, speaking of, whenever the person's singing the national anthem, they do say the home of the brave.
Yeah,
but
everybody
it's
says
the
Blues.
entire crowd says boo.
Well, that's
it always sounds like they're
total,
booing. If you're
Mhm.
like, if you're not a fan, if you're someone out like outside of St. Louis that was at a St. Louis game, hockey game, you would think everyone's booing the fucking person that just sang.
Yep.
Like boo.
We live in St. Louis.
No,
we get
people, we're saying blues. That's not disrespectful.
it. I think it is. If you're looking in the context of what is disrespecting the flag,
If you-
I mean,
if
the
you- if
national
you found-
anthem.
if
All
you
we're
found-
getting way too analytical.
I
No,
think
well, I mean, this is analytical.
You're analytical.
This is ridiculous.
it is an analytical podcast.
No, this is
Thanks.
this is ridiculous.
I like that.
You say the home of the Blues, and I went to a Blues
I
game.
didn't say. I never said home of the blues.
I went to
Oh,
a
every
Blues
time.
game with Rich Vance. We know Rich Vance.
Wow, you even called out his last name. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Rich, if you're watching, hello.
Richard.
Go ahead.
And anyway, they had the national anthem. Everybody stood up, and you know what I did? I feel like kind of a prick.
You
right
stayed.
now.
You sat down.
I fucking stayed down. Yeah, I did because it's just so ridiculous that you're going to a sports game. Like sports means so much. You know, I mean, we're not on a
do you
military
mean it's like?
base.
Do you mean it's almost like cheesy that everybody's standing up? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's very cheesy.
I gotcha.
If anything, it kind of degrades, the standing of the national anthem. It should
Really?
be. It should be a rarity that people really want to participate in. Not that they feel like that they're pressured into it.
Imagine if you were a season ticket holder and went to every home game.
Fucking knees will hurt by the end of the
Uh-huh.
season. You're like, oh god damn, I gotta
You're
stand
gonna
up
get
for
your
this shit
exercise
again.
in for sure.
Definitely.
100%.
And
it's interesting.
it's a
Never thought about
fucking
that.
sports game that's meant to make money for millionaires and billionaires. You know?
And be enjoyed by people. Like it's just like going to a high school game.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Let's just stop with this. Like I said, military propaganda. Every fucking
It's
every game.
nationalism.
Every game.
Nationalism.
And it's been around forever.
It has been around forever. since the existence of time.
But anyway, if you're gonna criticize the kneeling, yeah, you should criticize the home of the Blues every single
Or
time.
any other thing that any
Anything.
team does.
Yep.
The Atlanta Braves, home of the Braves.
Yep.
Like that, they do the same shit. So if you have a problem with Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, then you should also have a problem with anybody doing that.
Wait, doesn't it say
Absolutely.
Brave at the end? You said like the Braves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like they make a fun play on words there.
I like it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you shouldn't be able to wear a T-shirt that has a flag on it. You shouldn't be able to have a.
Is this what you believe in, or are you just saying this is crazy?
The whole thing's fucking crazy, man. I mean, I don't get it. Even burning the flag. So what? Somebody burns a fucking flag. Is it that big of a deal? Is it hurting anybody?
It's terroristic.
Tell me different.
And I know Blue, you kind of believe that some of the terrorists are right. So, well, that is a topic towards the end of the show, guys.
What the hell am I turning into?
A monster.
I'm starting to wonder what
I'm very upset that you're not wearing nearly as much blue as you usually do.
But he always
Very
wears
upset.
some type of blue.
I'm fucking changing.
Should just dye your hair blue and say screw it.
Yeah.
It's almost there.
All right, guys.
Blue hair.
So far, we have
Martians.
talked about Tesla and how Tesla has taken a hit on their stocks, and so did Elon Musk. He took a hit of weed. That's pretty funny. All right. So we talked about Elon Musk, Nike taking a knee, the hypocrites of America. Guys, we still have some topics left. We get to talk about 9/11, September 11th, that fateful day.
Right
Or,
around
sorry,
the corner.
The unfaithful. Is that faithful day or that unfaithful day?
Infamous.
Infamous. Thank you. That September day. I'm trying to think of that country song. All right, so we're going to talk about 9/11 next. Blind justice. Does it still exist? Has the courts gone too far? Or are they just corrupt as hell, just like everything else? And
Oh,
last
yes.
but not least, Blue's favorite topic: are the terrorists sometimes right?
That's not true.
You're the one that made up the topic.
I don't want to get
Doesn't
shot when I go to
necessarily
my
mean that
car
he believes
tonight.
it.
Well, you're going to get fucking shot. Okay. All right, guys. Do you have anything else you guys want to talk about before we go on to commercial break?
No.
Anything. Literally nothing.
I will say again, I got nothing.
Okay, guys, we are going to take a commercial break. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We are live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central. We are going to just take a small break. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, okay? I promise, roughly 15 minutes. I'm not making that up.
Do we lose viewership during our break?
Yes, we do lose viewership during the break. And on that note, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We are going to go on commercial break. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes.
Guys, I just want to say that I was on YouTube a lot recently. I get on there all the time, and I listen to Michael Bolton. I listen to a lot of different bands, but I was scrolling down, and I typed in Dutch. I just was looking for the movie Dutch, and basically what happened was I saw Dutch Radio Network, which you can find on YouTube.
Yeah.
I started watching it. I enjoyed what I saw, what I heard, and I said, hey, I have to follow these guys, and now I am on the show. I kid you not. Your dreams can come true, and you can be on Dutch Radio Network as a guest. You're not going to be a main star like us, but you can be a guest. That's one of the places you can go to watch Dutch Radio Network is on YouTube. I'm going to let this guy to the left of me tell you where else you can find Dutch Radio Network. Thank you.
I'll be honest. The first time I realized Going Dutch Radio Network was the best podcast, not only in St. Louis of motherfucking Missouri, but in the whole United States and the whole world. It just blew my mind. I mean, it just absolutely blew my mind. They have the best Facebook page ever. I mean, oh my God, I could just go on and on. You know, if you guys ever go on their website, goingdutchradionetwork.com, it is like the best fucking website ever. And I was once on the show, and oh my God, like, I almost passed out. Like, the camera's on me, and I was just feeling so good but nervous, and I was a little hard. But
It's okay. That's the way I felt the first time I was on the show.
Yeah.
Okay? But now I'm kind of a regular on the show, and I really enjoy it. A lot.
You guys are a bunch of Nancy fucking Pantsy boys. Let me tell you something. I listen to Going Dutch Radio because I like their kind of talk. They talk straight and they talk forward, and that's why I listen to fucking Going Dutch goddamn radio.
all right, guys, so look up Going Dutch Radio Network, like us on Facebook, and subscribe.
YouTube and Twitch.com.
Whatever they just said.
All right, guys. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. That's right, guys. Going Dutch Radio Network. I am CJ, your host, and the crew with me today, to the right of me, if you're looking at the camera, it is Blue. How's it going, Blue?
Not bad. Feeling good.
All right.
Feeling pumped up for this.
Wow, good. All right, and to
Fucking
the
pumped. No. Seriously, I'm really pumped.
like, how pumped are you?
Like, I am just keep going. Just talk to the other guy. I can't even explain how pumped up I am.
Well, I have a name, Blue.
All right. On that note, the man to the left of me, his name is Candy. How's it going, Candy?
It's going pretty good.
So pumped.
I'm just as pumped as he is. Well, maybe not as pumped.
I am so fucking pumped.
But a little pumped.
God, I feel like there's a lot of pumping going on.
I actually have a few questions. I was actually wondering how the show came about, Dutch Radio. You never actually shared it with our viewers. Maybe you have, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Yes. So me, CJ, that's right. I am CJ, the host. I decided during conception that I wanted to start doing a online podcast where we could do it live at least, once a week and be able to kind of have archive podcasts to watch, because I thought it'd be fun to talk about politics, conspiracies, controversies, and so forth. And that's really how it came about, if you want me to be honest. It's that simple. And within about 3 weeks, I think, we got all of the equipment. We got everything: microphones, mixers, computer software, everything. People, you have no idea how much this shit costs. It's
including
ridiculous.
the table.
Oh no,
And the
we're
table.
getting a new table.
We're getting a new
soon.
table now.
We are getting a new table, just like we got a new projector.
We're moving up in the world here.
What
we
kind
are.
of table are we gonna get? I like this table.
We're gonna get a rectangular table that looks just like this one,
Ooh.
but it's smaller.
Can I put my gum under it? Because that's what I like to do with my gum.
I would advise against that. It has sentimental value to me.
Okay, I won't
It
do
is
it.
my table, but it's our table now for the show.
Can I put my penis on it occasionally?
Speaking of labels and penises, I don't know how that was a good segue. I want to talk about how we got our names on the show, our nicknames on the show. So, Blue, would you like to talk about how you got your nickname, and can you explain it?
It's a very interesting story. I showed up on my first day here, and I was wearing a lot of blue. And then one of the two guys who used to be on the show was like, "Hey, that guy's wearing a lot of blue," so they call me Blue.
That is actually a pretty good name.
I mean, it is, and you don't understand, folks. Blue,
It's better than my name.
To the right of me, always on the camera. I mean, my God, he has never not worn blue ever. I don't
Never.
know if it's a
Never
fashion
not worn.
statement or if he's just really into it. But
I'm not a Democrat, though.
anyways, to the camera's left, as always, is Candy. And Candy, how did you get your name? How'd your name come about?
Do you even know?
I know my name.
So,
Okay, it wasn't my choice, but it was kind of interesting the first day at work here because this is kind of work.
Wow.
Every Saturday
This
night.
becoming a job, man.
I said, "What should my nickname be?" You guys were naming out names, and then someone said Candy. I don't know if it was you, CJ, or Blue,
I
but
think it was me.
Was
but-
he?
I was thinking something sweet when I was looking at him. Like,
yeah, he's like Candy. So I said, you know what? That's fine.
Some sweet
It
candy.
doesn't really matter what my nickname is, but Candy has kind of stuck with me.
right. I mean, I remember Blue first said Blowjob Betty. I'm like, let's go a little,
It has to be appropriate.
Exactly.
And we can sell candy while we're talking about me.
Right, exactly.
You should sell candy.
All right, guys, don't forget to watch Going Dutch Radio Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We are on commercial break. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Please like and subscribe to us on Facebook and look us up on our own website. That's right, guys. We have a www.goingdutchradionetwork.com. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Sneak a peek in my head, past the promise, past regret, to the place where I hide. You could come inside in your face and your ears, all my hopes and my fears. I'm a freak and a fake. You could take me or leave me. This is true, as true as it needs to be. I found something that works for me well. I'm surrounded by assassins I can't see without my glasses. I'm afraid they're whispering things about me that are mean. From now on, things might get weird, don't settle in. Or shed a tear, well. found something that works for me well. You should laugh, you should cry, you could close your eyes and go to sleep and have a dream where you can't feel a thing. You should laugh, you should cry, you could close your eyes and go to sleep and have a dream where you can't feel a thing. You should laugh, you should cry, you could close your eyes and go to sleep and have a dream where you're gentle and sweet and welfare.
All right, guys, and we are back. Going Dutch Radio Network. We're back from commercial break. Going Dutch Radio Network. We're back from break. This is CJ, your host. What? I liked how this started off, really awkward. To the
You make
camera's
me
left.
laugh. I
To the
don't
camera's
understand.
left, once again, is Blue and our guest B. How's it going so far, B?
Having fun.
Love
Sorry.
it. It's
Fell
okay.
asleep.
It's okay. Wow, that boring, huh? That boring of a podcast. Guys, we are back from commercial break. This is Going Nuts Radio Network. We went live at 8 p.m. Please comment, call in 636-926-6945.
I love the fact that there's a 69 in there.
I know.
I'm a really big fan.
It just happened to be.
It makes me think of people doing a 69.
Yeah, like who?
Willem Dafoe and
oh my God,
Jessica Tandy.
I could totally imagine that. All right, guys, we are back from break. What else do we have to talk about? Is there some good juicy topics?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 9/11.
Jesus.
I mean, it is a big deal. 9/11, people. It is September the 8th as of right now, but in only just a few days, Tuesday.
Is that how time works? You know, it's the 8th today. It's going to be the 11th soon.
Yes.
Oh,
eventually.
shit. What?
It will be.
8, 9,
I need to
10,
start smoking
so
what Elon Musk was smoking.
Hey-yo.
Tuesday will be 9/11. Tuesday. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Wow. Dry, quiet podcast. I like it awkward. Do you like how awkward I like to make everything? It's beautiful. All right, so we got 9/11 still to talk about, the conspiracy, the love, the hate, the remembrance of 9/11. And a couple extra topics. Are the terrorists sometimes right? That's an awkward one to go next, right after 9/11.
No shit, I didn't think we were going to talk about 9/11 today.
Well, Blue, you wanted to talk about are the terrorists sometimes right, which obviously means that hold on.
I'm not necessarily talking about Osama fucking bin Laden, who was recruited by the CIA, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go.
Well, it's a fucking fact.
All right.
He can attest to it.
And then lastly, blind justice. Does it still exist?
No.
I know. All right, 9/11. Let's do it.
Skip that.
Will you please since you are the special guest, please start with 9/11. Please let us tell us the story that you were telling earlier upstairs above the studios about how somebody you know made a video, whatever.
So my girlfriend's mother.
Wow. Totally. Okay.
What?
It's cool.
Okay. Sorry.
You always find something wrong with what you're saying.
I know. I love it.
So my girlfriend's mother liked to tape the news, 24/7 a day, because that's how CNN works.
So she liked taping CNN.
Mm-hmm. Now it's gotten much easier on her because of DVR.
Right.
But back in the day, it was VHS. Then it moved up to DVDs and such. And she has an entire DVD of the events as they panned out live on CNN. And I think it runs for like 18 hours or something like that.
Holy shit. So your girlfriend's mother
Yes.
got a true unedited entirety of 9/11 and the aftermath, and CNN talking about it, all the commercial, there's probably no commercial breaks during it, but
there was very few.
So your mother, your girlfriend's mother, might be one of the few people that truly have a entire recording of pure virgin unedited footage of the entire 9/11 unfolding, on CNN.
Yep. And what I was going to do this year, unfortunately I work, but what I was going to do was wake up and just pop in that DVD and just watch it all and see if there's things that were reported that day that don't get reported anymore. And there's quite a few from what I've already seen.
Really?
Yes.
That's so fucking crazy. 18 hours. So 9/11. 9 goddamn 11. 7/11, 9/11, 11/11. What do you think, Blue? 9/11. What do you think when you hear the numbers? Either it's ironically, what time is it? It's 9/11, or when you always hear
what's your total today?
Right. There's multiple times where somehow 9/11 the numbers come up kind of sequentially like that.
Mine lately has been 420.
And with being that 9/11, it might not even have to do with actually the 9/11, the date that we're about to talk about. But what do you feel every time you hear those numbers, 9/11?
I don't know. It changes pretty often. When I first heard it, I thought about us being a country that came together against an enemy. After that, after we invaded Iraq for no reason, and things started to look like maybe, they're a little bit grayer. It wasn't black and white anymore. I started to think that, 9/11, it kind of faded away, the idea of what it meant originally. Now I think of it as basically the springboard for another military-industrial complex, war, several wars that were, going to in I don't know. I that's such a difficult question because 9/11 is such an abstract idea in my head.
It is.
Now, originally it made a whole lot of sense. It was very concrete when I was, a kid basically, because I think I was in 8th grade when it happened, and it made so much sense. And George W. Bush was our hero.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I remember. I mean,
I fucking loved him.
You're a bit older
loved him.
You're a bit older than I think both of us.
Yeah.
With that being said, how old were you whenever 9/11 happened in 2001?
Honestly, I said 8th grade. Maybe it was in 9th grade, so I might have been early high school when it happened. Because they said the World Trade Center was taken out. I didn't know what the fuck that was. I'd never heard of the World Trade Center before.
No, I'm sure lots of people.
Well,
did,
sadly, I was in high school. I guess you're supposed to know what that is. And I was in one of my non-classes. It was like, you just basically you're supposed to study the whole study hall.
Study hall, gotcha.
Study hall.
Okay.
And that's when it happened, and they started to play on the radio, and the radio was, it was echoing and reverberating to where I didn't know what they were saying. And then it wasn't until I saw on television that the second plane hit the tower. And after that, I was just like, that whole image is like burned into my brain the rest of my life. But what's sad is that I think that we were played, we were manipulated by this administration. I think that they wanted this to happen, just like with the Colin Kaepernick shit, just like with all this other stuff, we're being manipulated.
Okay, so we're talking about 9/11, obviously.
But that has nothing to do with the lives that were lost or the troops who put their, like Pat Tillman. I mean, what a hero. That guy, he played football for the Arizona Cardinals, and he decided that he didn't want to play football anymore. He wanted to forego millions of dollars. He ended up signing up. He fought in Afghanistan, and he was killed by friendly fire, but the Bush administration covered it up. They said that it was enemy fire until later on it was figured out that he was killed by our own. Heroes like that should always be foremost in our hearts because those are, real people who are willing to put their lives on the line.
Right.
Pat Tillman. But at the same time, we have to criticize this shit because this shit just keeps going on and on and on, and it never fucking ends, and it makes me sick because... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Because I'm going to be 35 this year, and we're still at the same goddamn wars that were in when I was in high school.
But so whenever this happened, when you thought you were in 9th grade, so the beginning of high school year for you, you're just little boy blue.
Little blue, yeah.
And what was the feeling just a few days after, if you can remember, right after 9/11 for you? Because I can't imagine being in high school, at least being almost legal age of being 18 years old. Like maybe there's going to be a draft. Like back then, whenever I was little, like my parents were all like fucking, because I was in 3rd grade during that time, and I was like really freaked out because all I heard my mom and dad saying like, "Oh my god, this is a terroristic attack, and this hasn't happened forever." Like my mom pulled me out of school for like 3 days straight because she was so afraid like they are just gonna fucking get hit. I mean, everyone thought like anything can happen now. Before we were all safe for at least 15, 20 years. Nothing crazy has happened except for a few crazy what's it called? Lone wolf terrorists that are in the United States, which we like to talk about. But then this happens where how many people died? 3,000, 5,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think in New York. Just that feeling of, oh, this is America. Nothing really, really bad happens. We're safe, and then the World Trade Center gets hit.
It changed.
It changed
a lot of things.
It didn't just change America. It really changed, I feel like, the entire world.
And I'll let him go on because he knows a lot about it.
Yeah.
But I will say that it changed us, but we had two different directions to go in, and we went in the absolutely wrong direction. The whole thing about the Bush administration was we're going to go on the offensive. We're going to kick these guys' ass.
America.
And that's, yeah. I mean, that's
Yep.
pretty much what happened when we should have looked within ourselves. And that's why I wanted to put up the whole terrorist, that whole subject we're going to talk about later about, and and it's a really fucking terrible thing.
It is.
I am not even saying that those strikes were in any way righteous. And I still think that maybe the CIA was behind it, to be honest with you.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
But
it's possible.
but if the CIA did not orchestrate those attacks, if they were done by terrorists, they're egregious, terrible. Any terrorist attack is awful, but we owe it to ourselves to understand why they're doing it, so that we can prevent it later on.
What do you think, B?
So, from what I've researched thus far, and I'm always going to research it because it's extremely fascinating. From what I've seen, there's just so much that we never got closure on during that day. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I think that's part of what a lot of people are up in arms about, and why there is such a big conspiracy, because there's so many things that they didn't just let out. So basic information,
like the fact that they knew it was going to happen days before. It was reported to the White House that exact event was going to happen,
right.
And yet they did nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the following weeks, all the planes that you would see over New York were F-14s, fighter pilots flying all over the place, but
Right.
yet that day, nothing.
Well, do you understand why there was none, other than why there were no fighter jets, other than because it's a conspiracy? Do you know why supposedly why there wasn't?
Go ahead.
So it's pretty interesting. So during that fateful morning of 9/11, the Vice President of the United States, Dick Cheney,
Big Dick Cheney.
Big Dick Cheney.
Shot his friend in the face.
Worst fight.
Yes.
Yeah, they never fucking got to the.
Yeah, talk about an
Yeah.
asshole. Jeez,
asshole.
So during the morning of 9/11, very early, starting at 6 a.m., they started this giant military training in Air Force as well. And this was all over America, from every single state, including like Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico as well, which is not a state, I know. What is that? Province? What the fuck is that in?
It should be a
Territory.
state at this point.
Territory.
They won our aid after that hurricane.
What do you mean they won? They deserved it. Anyways, we're not going to get into that.
Were they a state or what?
Okay, so from 45 minutes prior to the first World Trade Center being hit, at exactly, I forgot what the exact time was, but it was like starting at 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning of 9/11, they were going to shut down all the radar systems in the Air Force, military, anything that has to do with the armed forces on purpose, because they were trying to do a military and Air Force exercise where all these fighter jets were going to have to do this drill where all the radar systems are shot that are completely off, GPS and everything, and they were supposed to be able to scramble and can these fighter jets during training, can they figure out what's going on and how to handle this without having radar and maps and people on the ground being able to see them on radar. Does that make sense?
Whoa. So you're saying they're doing this the day of 9/11?
Not only the day, it happened 45 minutes prior, all the way up until 5 minutes before the second tower was hit.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Swear to God, this is a fact. This is absolutely a fact. This is not like a conspiracy thing. This is absolutely true. They turned
100%.
off the entire radar system of all the military armed forces for a military exercise to see if fighter jets and to see if we can still communicate and be able to logistically know what's going on if all that shit was shut down during a massive world war or whatnot. And ironically, 9/11 happened because if the military exercise ironically wouldn't have happened, they even
supposedly,
stated...
ironically.
If ironically it wouldn't have happened, and supposedly if it wouldn't have happened, they've even stated, the armed forces, saying we could have stopped or we could have done something. We could have sent a fighter jet, and essentially maybe shoot it down or maybe, ask for demands or try to communicate with the plane prior to. But ironically, the one day out of 7 years, this is the one time all the radar system was completely shut down for a military exercise. So they couldn't see it happening. Why? The military, anytime they see or anytime there's even word of a plane that's going off of its trajectory of where it's supposed to be going from point A to point B by more than, I think it's like 50 miles, the military gets an alert. Immediately. but all their systems were shut down purposely for this military exercise to see when all the lights are off, can they handle it? But you know what?
Obviously they can't.
Obviously, it's a conspiracy. The chance of that is 1 in a fucking million people.
Unless
1 in a fucking million.
Unless the terrorists who planned the attack had insider information.
They knew they were going to do that military exercise.
Yes.
You know, it's funny.
So-
I've never thought about that ever. Even though I've heard of it. That's actually it's
a
crazy.
logical leap.
It's mind-boggling that you just said that
Well, and the reason I'm saying that is because
you're a terrorist.
No. Whenever I was in college, I took a class actually on terrorism, and we looked at a lot of Osama bin Laden's speeches a long time before 9/11 ever happened. They were all banned from. Well, I mean, you're not going to air a terrorist speech on NBC at 8 o'clock at night, prime time, but a lot of those speeches were kind of, kept out of the average American's household. And so I got to thinking that, maybe this whole 9/11 thing isn't necessarily an inside job. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I kind of agree that it probably is. But let's say that it's not.
Let's
Okay.
say right now you're saying let's say 9/11 was
Let's
not an
say
inside job whatsoever.
It isn't an inside job.
Okay.
These guys knew exactly what was going to happen that day.
The terrorist.
The terrorists do.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe they have an inside guy in the government that they planted.
It's plausible. It's definitely
Yeah.
plausible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, the guys who flew the plane in there, didn't they get flying lessons in Florida or some shit like that?
Yeah, they moved to America
easy.
like a year or like 6 months prior.
Year and 2 months.
With a visa of being able to come to America to, I don't know if, I guess it was just for flying school if I had to guess, because maybe there's no flying in the Middle East because of obviously they just to fucking fly planes into buildings.
They couldn't get the flying training that they needed for like big ass planes,
Right.
For a Boeing 747.
I could see that.
Yeah, so it just seems to me that there's a probability that the way that the narrative goes is that the Bush administration, they might have known about a potential terrorist attack, but they kind of dropped the ball at the goal line or whatever you want to call it, and then they hit us. But I think that what oftentimes goes unrecognized is that the possibility that maybe they had an inside guy, Condoleezza Rice. I don't know.
Why? Because she's black? Is it because she's black?
No. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Cheney because he was the head of Halliburton.
Well, Cheney.
I mean, seriously.
Don't even get me started on that guy, dude.
So the
He's the
I fucking
dirtiest
hate
old
Cheney
fuck ever.
more than
Is
anybody.
he dead yet?
Well, that's why I
no,
get so
seriously,
pissed
is he
off.
dead yet? No, real quick. Is Dick Cheney dead yet?
I can't Google it. I
No,
don't have
he's had
service
like
in here.
20 heart attacks. He's still alive. But that's what pissed me off is that people and I'm sorry, but like you said earlier,
Mhm.
you said that Trump is worse than George W. Bush. I mean, this guy is a fucking George W. Bush to me is the Antichrist. I mean, he was the worst fucking president we've ever had.
Antichrist, really?
I mean, you had Dick Cheney with the Halliburton thing. It was so obvious that we went to Iraq in order to make the stock go up in Halliburton, and they totally finagled the whole 9/11 thing and killed all these people. I mean, it's so obvious.
So
And this guy gets fucking, whoa, Trump's worse than him. I don't think so.
Wow.
In my opinion.
B,
Yes.
Blue's calling you out.
It's fine. I'm okay with it. So the big thing for me with the whole 9/11 conspiracy is I'm pretty sure they knew because they had a threat called in days before it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there was a major cover-up happening. I forget exactly what it was. I'm pretty sure it was the results of an investigation into some ne'er-do-wells inside of the administration.
Mm-hmm.
And the results came out September 10th, 2001.
Jesus.
And then the very next day we have 9/11 happen. So everybody all of a sudden forgets about the entirety of this Black Gate, or was it Blackgate? No, that's an Arkham game. Watergate.
Can you
Watergate.
explain exactly once again? So on September 10th, the day before 9/11,
Yes, the results of a major investigation, and
and what was the investigation about?
that I don't remember.
Okay, so there's
We do have the power of Google though.
Google.
Why don't we Google it? We should
So
Google it.
this might be the same thing that you might be bringing up.
Sure.
So in the Pentagon, ironically, it was at the Pentagon
Mm-hmm.
on September 10th. Somebody, and it was some, you know the fucking guy's name. We sound so unprofessional. but
George Tenet was a CIA director
might
who,
be
by the
him.
way, actually came up with evidence for us to go to Iraq, which was erroneous.
What is it good
But that's
for?
just
Did
one
you
thing.
just say erroneous?
Fucking erroneous.
Dude, I don't even
That's
want to
why.
talk about
No.
erroneous.
That's why I'm so pissed off that Trump is considered the worst president of all time. George W. Bush. I mean, first of all, we're talking
That's
about
what it was. Sorry, go ahead.
We're talking about 9/11 being an inside job, but we already know that Iraq was an inside job because they made up shit for us to go to Iraq to begin with. We're talking about thousands of people who were killed.
Okay, so this is what I want to bring up.
Americans, not to mention the children who were run over by the Humvees.
Yes. So the
fuck?
the Pentagon, there was some big guy at the Pentagon. Okay,
Yes.
on September 10th.
Probably Donald Rumsfeld.
I'm losing it right now. Some guy found out that there was, I think it's $1 or $2 trillion, not a million, not a billion, but
Yes.
$1 trillion
Yes.
I know what
with
he's
a
talking
T,
about.
people.
Yes.
Which by the way is the entire amount, all of America, all business, all the
Donald
government.
Rumsfeld said that.
Donald Rumsfeld
Yes.
said the day prior, he said, not necessarily publicly, but he told his officials, the people that are above him, listen, here is a stack of papers,
Yep.
here's a report that I have, and there's $2 trillion missing.
Completely
That's right.
missing.
Yep.
Completely.
Yeah,
like they have
we
no idea where the fuck it went.
And
No
then
idea.
the next morning,
9/11.
9/11 happens, and that entire investigation, and that entire report
Is gone.
from Donald, what is his name?
Donald Rumsfeld.
Donald Rumsfeld was completely forgotten about because 9/11 just happened, and the Pentagon was just hit.
Yep.
Yep.
Ironically. So this is what's even better. You ready for this one?
Sure.
This is nostalgia for us now.
So thinking about this, after that happened, did you know the part of the building that he had all these computer files, what this report was? And this is really true. That part of the building that he had all those files in was the part of the Pentagon that got hit.
Who? Donald Rumsfeld?
He was in the Pentagon at the time.
Can we look this shit up so we can make it verified?
I said it, so it's got to be real. That's what Trump does. Come
Well,
on.
no. We need some sources though.
Wait, how come there's no evidence of the plane that's in the Pentagon, like whatsoever?
Who the fuck are you?
I am Jackie. Hey,
Oh my God.
there is no evidence of
You
the
guys
plane.
look exactly the same.
Do I?
Yes.
Do we?
Yes.
There is not a single piece of evidence of the plane being in the plane.
And that's
It
part
was-
of the CNN tape that I have. That's literally in there.
Really?
The
Oh my God,
the
you-
CNN reporter.
You need to bring that here.
Said what now?
The CNN reporter live at the Pentagon flat out says, if you had told me that it was just a bomb and not a plane, I would have totally believed you because there's no signs of a plane wreckage here.
none. It was
Zero.
an explosion.
And that piece of the CNN footage does not happen on live television anymore. Like they don't replay that part.
But your girlfriend's mother has that footage.
Yes.
Oh my
which
God, we
I
need
actually
it.
have now.
Where is the
Yeah.
footage? Is it
Yeah,
in front
we
of
need to
the
bring that.
Pentagon or is it in front of?
Yeah, it's in front of the Pentagon, and they have like
Yeah.
B-roll footage of the Pentagon overhead.
There's
and
also
there's no
saying
plane.
there's phone lines that were in front of the Pentagon, and how come those weren't hit if a plane hit
Phone
it?
lines are only like fucking 15 feet tall.
But they weren't hit. So if they weren't hit, then it was definitely a bomb.
So there is over, did you know, as of right now, I don't know the stats of before 9/11 or leading up to 9/11. Do you know the amount of cameras that are pointing to the
I
Pentagon?
think quite a few.
It's over 100 cameras
And you get the one
are
shitty.
pointing at the Pentagon
Yeah.
or from the Pentagon out. 100 different cameras, and
You get
not
that
one of them.
One shot. The one shot.
One shot,
where
one
it's
frame,
the
which is-
plane and then the explosion.
You
You don't
see-
see the impact at
You,
all.
you
It's
see,
all a
you
lie.
see a tip of something that's supposedly the plane, just the tip of it in one frame, and then the second frame
Yep.
is just the explosion. Now, ironically, there is only one camera that is truly pointing at the Pentagon by chance that is not owned by the Pentagon. Not just then, even now, or probably not now anymore, but prior to 9/11. There was only one camera that just had me pointing at the Pentagon, and that was a gas station. The nearest gas station was like a mile and something far away. And it just happened to be pointing a security camera, and it's third,
in that general direction.
it just general
They won't
direction.
release it.
No, it's not that they just won't release it. the CIA or the FBI took it immediately.
Yeah.
No
That-
shit.
The same day. The same day that it happened. The
Yep.
same day the
So-
Pentagon got hit. The
so
first thing they thought
no-
about was let's go to that gas station, make sure they don't have any cameras.
Got to make a quick trip.
They took all their footage and they took their
no
DVR.
one has seen the footage.
and no one
No
was able
one.
to see the
No
footage.
shit.
And to this day, they said yes, it was pointed at because they've had to use it, for robberies or if someone was doing something stupid.
Yeah, I think they wanted to
and-
show everything that was on there.
Exactly, and they
There's
took
no
it the same
justification for that
day
at all.
on 9/11. The FBI or CIA came by that gas station and got the footage. That just the only third-party camera could have possibly looking at the Pentagon. They took it. They took that fucking
Wow.
footage. Why?
There's no reason.
So what about the building that tumbled down that was next to the Twin Towers that wasn't hit?
Tower number 7.
That
Yes.
wasn't hit.
World Trade
How
Center
come
7.
that they say? Don't they say because of the heat or something? That's why it tumbled down.
Yeah, they say
Bullshit.
the wreckage and
No.
the shrapnel from the other buildings being hit, the World Trade Center, and I think it's almost a block and a half away. Tower number 7, and it was never hit. Obviously,
You can see it in the footage of the second tower falling. You can literally see that tower crumble.
and it was smoking. Like
Mhm.
you can see that there was smoke coming from it.
It was smoking beforehand.
but it was never hit. There was no real physical hit, obviously, from the plane.
I think the CIA came up with that whole idea that there might have been detonators inside the buildings or something.
Here's the thing.
To throw you off and make you not think about the Pentagon.
But here's
videos.
that's possible. But
You know what I'm saying?
But the fact that Tower 7, this little building that is like a quarter as tall, that never was hit. And the only reason why we think the tower, the World Trade Centers, both of them, could have possibly went down was because, even though there's conspiracies or there's arguments, it's because the fuel itself was just so hot and it was burning so hot that it melted steel. That what's made World Trade Center 1 and 2 crumble, but Tower 7 was never hit. And there's multiple videos of it just like, it's perfect, it's standing, it's just smoking, but it's just standing like a perfect little building. It's just a natural fire, it looks like, from far away. And it just perfectly goes down. Like it was supposedly got hit by a plane. Tell me that's not fucking crazy.
I don't know.
So, according
War makes money. That's
Yeah.
all what it comes down
according
to.
to physicists that have looked into it, people that actually know how physics work and how momentum works, the momentum and weight of the top half that fell was not enough weight and force to actually crumble the rest of the building.
That's why during demolitions, real demolitions, whenever they put what's it called, something nitrinite or whatever the fuck it is, that crazy. It's like TNT times 100. Whenever they do it, they only have to do like a tenth as much at the top, they have to do 10 times more, of this TNT at the very top than at the bottom, because once it starts going, then all the weight, because the weight at the bottom of a building is 1,000 times heavier than it is at the top. So the fact that, supposedly it just perfectly crumbled down. Not only that, think about it. A plane hit it. It wasn't let's just say it wasn't a controlled demolition, right, Blue?
These buildings are literally designed to withstand
Yes.
a Boeing 747 impact.
When they built it, yes, that it was supposed to be able to withstand any hurricane. It should be able to withstand anything. And with that being said, they perfectly fell for the most part, just on itself, perfectly, just straight down. It's astronomically impossible.
But like I said, this is sort of the Colin Kaepernick Nike commercial aspect of 9/11. It's like it's supposed to get you to start talking about engineering and why did these two buildings crumble simultaneously, and you know what, it doesn't matter. Like, why were those planes sent there? Who knew about them?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, to
Totally
me,
get it.
yeah, I know. I can't help it. I'm trying to make a point.
He's a young Padawan
Yeah.
of Trump.
But I mean, you can talk about that, and there's been different engineers who've looked into it. There's no consensus on it. I guess the engineers who were backed up by the government will probably actually, end up being the ones that people listen to. But, I mean, it really. I mean,
did you see the
it really doesn't matter.
firefighters that came out right after it happened and said that was absolutely an explosion that went on in there? You can look it up. There's 2 firefighters sitting on the edge.
Yeah, we had.
We
that
were
video
just
on.
talking about that, about the
Absolutely an explosion that
Yeah,
happened.
we were just
Those were
looking that up
bombs that
earlier.
went off, and that's why the building went down.
We
See,
were just
the
talking
only-
about that. What? Go ahead.
The only thing that I'm worried about is who knew about all this shit. Who orchestrated it? It's not how it went down. It's not about
So
the bombs.
I think the answer to your question is all the way to the top.
War makes
well,
money.
yeah,
Everyone
obviously.
to go to war.
We forget
Yeah.
that George H.W. Bush had beef with Iraq. He wanted their oil real bad, and all of a sudden, he didn't succeed. We had 8 years of Clinton, and then within the first couple of years, within the first term
Yeah.
of George W., his son, we're all of a sudden
Right there.
back in Iraq. So I think it goes all the way to the top.
I mean,
Well, yeah, of course it does.
what's
But,
surprising is how big of a thing this is, how big of a deal it was. It's as if the entire world stood still. It doesn't matter if you were in America or not. Like
It was eerie. It was scary. You'd walk around and everybody would just get along. You felt like you're a family with everybody. Like everybody was going through it at that time.
yeah, that's the
It's
only
a very
time.
strange
Yeah,
time.
it is, and that's the only time people
It like brought everybody together.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. So does funerals. You notice that like funerals, death, and natural like bad things that natural disasters.
Well,
and
no,
whatnot
and
is-
and mostly you couldn't talk. Like you couldn't criticize it. You couldn't talk about it in a way to where you question. Well, is this how it actually went down?
But-
like
but back
Bill,
then- are we talking about like the day of, or a week later, or like a year later?
Well, I remember Bill Maher. He used to have a show called Politically Incorrect
Yes.
on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
He ended up getting fired because, and I don't agree with him on this.
We got a video to watch.
but he said that the terrorists were kind of heroic in the fact that they actually blew themselves up for their cause, which I mean, I guess he has a point there. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to blow yourself up for something. But,
right. Okay.
But still, back then, that was shit that got you fired. You
Let's
couldn't
watch the video.
Like
Sorry,
you could not.
Right now,
do that.
people, we're looking at some blonde hair of a firefighter during 9/11. We want to watch some footage, and we want you to see some footage. This is the firefighters that are special
Just
special
walked
guest.
out of the building.
Our special guest, the first female on the show, Jackie, wants you to see this 9/11 footage, and here it is.
We was in the explosion. We was in the lobby and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What was it like? What was it like?
Horrible.
It's like hell. You don't want to know.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Is that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was the.
Yeah, definitely a secondary explosion. But we was inside waiting to go upstairs, and on the way upstairs, the whole fucking thing blew. And we just collapsed on everybody inside the lobby.
Similar to the first tower coming down, secondary.
I don't know about the first one, but I know the second one it was terrible. Then there was a third one too after that one.
Third explosion after that.
That's right. Everybody was inside the building, waiting to go upstairs, and they just let loose. Everything just let loose inside the building.
So what you told me is that there was a plane or whatever hit the building, then a secondary explosion.
It was like 3 explosions after that. We came in after the fire. We came when
Here's the
fire
thing:
was going
it's
on
it's such a
already.
serious thing. Like this video is so serious right now that normally I like to like talk during any video,
Sad.
poke fun of it, or even just try to comment. But you just can't during any 9/11 footage. It's just impossible. It seems like
Inside the building, waiting to go upstairs. And they exploded. The whole lobby collapsed on the lobby inside.
And it was just mayhem after that.
Everybody tried to make their way out.
Just trying to help all the
This is footage of 9/11 people, by the way. This is going to Trader Network. You'll see our faces in a second.
brothers get out.
A lot of people trapped inside. And
I was sitting in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, crossing Brooklyn. We watched the first explosion. As we watched the
Explosion.
building, saw a black, very large airplane fly right into the second building. Came out of the south.
Oh, there's the plane.
Right in front of our eyes.
He just brought up a plane, but it was a black plane.
Oh, I think
A
a plane
black
hit it.
plane.
I think a plane hit it.
Well, from the ground it'll be.
We were in the building for the third one. It collapsed. I was on this drive here.
Is he racist though?
Why? Because of the mustache?
No, because he said black plane.
Buildings can blow up.
Look,
This ain't done yet.
Did he just box with somebody?
This couldn't be no worse than this.
He knows that it was bombs.
You're in the building
Explosions.
trying to help people, and it's exploding on the inside the building. So I don't think you get any.
All right, guys, that was some firefighters during and right after they were just in the World Trade Center.
A plane hit it, but there was definitely beforehand
So
bombs set up for
the
sure.
the crazy part about the explosions that they're seeing and witnessing,
Yeah.
weeks before, both towers had construction done to them.
Yep, floors
Both of
were
them.
shut down so that they could bring construction workers up there. to
Wait,
do it.
so which floors had construction, or was it
That,
certain ones? or-
that I don't remember which floors, but I'm pretty sure it was more towards the ground floors and throughout the elevator shafts because elevators were closed down.
Yeah.
Multiple elevators were closed down, and
Whoa, that's
this
fucking
building is a
weird.
very, very large building, so it has probably 10 elevators each. Multiple elevators down, multiple floors closed off completely.
Yep.
And that
That's-
was weeks before 9/11.
Really?
Yeah.
So I wonder, okay, so this is obviously a construction company, whether it actually was or not. Can't we get evidence of like, okay, who was that construction company? Because it's always a contracted service from the government. That's fine, but normally it'd be just some construction company
But
with
see-
hard hats on. Like, can that? Let's just find that construction company and ask the business owner or the CEO at the time or the people that was in charge of this construction. Hey, what did you guys do while you were there?
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be a not report, but shouldn't there be an
invoice?
Investigation?
Yes, that's the problem.
What the
It was
fuck?
it was such a national tragedy that investigations ceased. They didn't want to look further into it because it's such a national tragedy that nobody cared how. Everybody only cared why and who. That's all they cared about.
They knew
And
that this was going to happen.
Yeah,
regardless.
we gave them who, the terrorists. Osama bin Laden.
No, the problem is that they didn't give the right who. And,
Exactly.
And now we're worried about why the towers fell like they did. And it's a waste of time.
Bombs,
Big waste of time.
explosions.
I don't know,
it's all
people.
We know it's
lies.
George W. Bush. We know it's the Bush administration. We know it's Halliburton. And we know it's, Dick Cheney.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around the table, starting with you, Blue. Just one word answer, one or the other. 9/11. Was the government? Because okay, real quick synopsis. Do we all think that the government had a part in it? Just yes or no?
Well, I mean, even if you don't believe that.
Yes
just
or
yes or no?
Yes. Well, I mean,
Stop it.
obviously
Stop
the
it.
government has something to do
Yes
with it.
or no.
Okay. B. Just yes or no. Did the government have to do? Was the government involved at all whatsoever with either 9/11 happening or letting it happen?
Absolutely.
Okay, Jackie, do you think? I think I know the answer to this one.
Absolutely.
Okay,
100%.
me, absolutely. With that being said, we all believe that the government had some involvement with 9/11 and letting those planes hit the tower. Let me go around one more time. Blue, do you feel like the government just let it happen and it actually was terrorists from the Middle East? Or do you feel like the government constructed the entire thing from the ground up, so to speak?
Both.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why? Blue. Why?
I don't want to answer.
Blue?
He knows.
Because they actually paid the terrorists. They paid the terrorists whenever Osama bin Laden was paid by the CIA whenever they're fighting the Soviet Union
Yes.
in Afghanistan.
Yes. Charlie Murphy's War.
So the Taliban was actually paid money by us to fight the Soviets in 1979.
Okay. B. So do you feel like the government had... Did the government just let it happen and it was terrorist and we just let it happen for a reason? Or do you think the government constructed the entire 9/11, the construction of the Pentagon, everything? Do you think the government truly orchestrated the whole fucking thing?
I think they constructed the entire thing, but agreed with Blue. Same thing. Like, they paid off Al-Qaeda to do it.
Jackie. Jackie.
It's just so full of lies. The whole thing is, if you just look at the footage, I mean, I've spent like hours looking at it, and it's just sickening. There's just so many lies. It's lie after lie after lie that that the government is absolutely a part of it.
Here is a very bad question I'm going to ask.
There's no such thing as a bad question, only bad answers.
If there were no lives taken, somehow, okay, not even in the fucking planes, there were 0 lives taken at all in the towers, anything, do you think this would still be a big deal? The fact that someone was still able to infiltrate, I can't say it right. Infiltrate the United States and hit one of our biggest towers, one of the most iconic towers. Do you think like it would be as big of a deal, or is it because all the lives lost? You know what I mean, though?
I think it's because of the media. The media really plays shit. Just like now with Trump, everything that he does is awful. It's terrible, and the media focuses on that. And now, granted, 9/11 was terrible. I'm not disagreeing with that at all, and there were lots of lives lost, so it should be a big deal. But I think that they really, they're like, we need to go to fucking war. Boom, 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 boom.
War
boom.
makes money, baby.
I think everyone's heard of this conspiracy, and it's actually true that they found this. One of the hijackers of one of the planes, their not necessarily driver's license, their Visa card that has like their face and photo
was
and all their
found in
information
the Pentagon, but not a single piece of the plane was.
And no, I thought it was at like the rubbish.
No, that was at that was at the Pentagon.
That was at the Pentagon,
but not
Yeah.
a single little dot piece of a plane
So
was
what-
found. Like,
Once again, a hijacker had their visa/driver's license with a photo ID, was almost completely intact and be able to view it and see it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And they found that in the Pentagon, even though it was in a plane going hundreds of miles an hour. They think 400 miles an hour. They say that's as fast as you can possibly go and try to hit a building. And there's no evidence of a plane.
All these guys came from
no rubble, but they found the goddamn driver's license or the visa of the goddamn hijacker in the plane.
Well,
Impossible.
what's funny is that we went to war with Afghanistan, but all these guys came from Saudi Arabia, and we kissed their ass every fucking.
Because they got the money and they got the oil.
No matter who
the big
is
one.
president, they kiss their ass. I don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm.
They kiss their fucking ass.
Yeah.
And all these terrorists came from Saudi Arabia.
Do you guys think George Bush? Do you think George Bush knew about it, or do you think he was just a puppet? You know
he
what I mean?
knew, totally.
George W. Bush knew about it.
Absolutely.
I agree.
100%.
Imagine what the president goes through, though, for God's sakes. All this stuff that he's threatened with. And, you never know. He might have been saving us from another huge thing that was going to happen. I mean, you just don't know.
Maybe
you know?
Armageddon should have happened 2 or 3 years
No,
ago.
really. I
but
mean,
it
you don't
didn't.
know. I mean, imagine what stuff he's being threatened with every single day.
But here's the sad thing, Jackie, is today, in this day and age, Trump can't even trust his own cabinet from leaving his papers on his desk without the cabinet, one of his members stealing it.
So what's the difference? Come on, let's be
Hey,
serious.
that's pretty good.
I know, but but I mean, this is where we used to be at, and now we're worried about Trump saying something like offensive. This was very offensive, in my opinion. Allowing thousands of people to die so they could go to war with a bunch of bullshit to make money for their contract companies.
I read today that there's more people passing away now from lung cancer.
Yeah, sure.
All the paramedics,
That's
all the
another
firefighters.
thing we need to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that you're expected to live up to like 55 now if you had anything to do with 9/11 because of lung cancer.
Yeah.
Like even if you weren't in New York, but you knew about it.
Huh?
Like
no, if you were exposed to all the
was a joke.
chemicals and
It's a bad joke.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch on to it.
It's okay.
No,
it's sad.
That's
They're
Guys-
saying more people are going to pass away now than they did at 9/11 because of lung cancer.
And that's it. And I think that actually goes with the tally of the 9/11 fatalities. I think is when people die and they know that it's directly medically correlated with how they died. With being involved in 9/11. I think that so the tally goes up. I'm sure every year. It's kind of creepy. That's how long this.
And those are real heroes. Those are real people who I'd fucking stand up for at a hockey game. People who went into that building and who are dying now and risk their lives to save those people. Those are fucking heroes,
Yeah, I agree.
No, really. Those are real heroes.
Okay, don't. Are
I'm
you
just saying?
Okay.
He's crying. Look at him. He's
No,
crying.
I am really about to cry.
Who would
I'm
the
It
Blue-
is sad,
Blues
it's
have
awful.
to pay in order for that to happen, though? Do we pay New York City fire departments? Or
I know. Isn't
It's
that fucked up?
no.
Fact.
Honestly, it's Giuliani. Giuliani.
Oh, don't even get me started about him.
I fucking hate him so much. He is a piece of shit.
Actually, I always liked him for some reason.
I used to like him. I don't like him anymore though.
My ad is just finally approved on Facebook. Are you fucking kidding me, people? It took them fucking 4 hours. Fucking 4 hours, Charlie, to get my ad approved on Facebook to promote this live podcast. And you know what, people? It was just approved 4 hours ago.
We're
and
talk-
guess, and this podcast is almost over. Sorry.
How dare you? We're talking about 9/11 and worry about your podcast.
All right, guys, we're talking about 9/11. Thank you guys for watching live. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, please comment on Facebook and YouTube. And please call in live during the show right now, 636-926-6945.
69:45.
Thanks, Jackie. It's awkward. Fucking awkward people. All right, so we're talking about 9/11. How many planes were there total that were hijacked? Four. Okay, so one World Trade Center 1, so 2 hit the World Trade Center, 1 hit the Pentagon. Does anyone have any info, any background at all on that 4th plane?
Went to Washington.
It downed in Pennsylvania and was apparently supposed to either hit something in Pennsylvania or allegedly to the White House.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think that it was shot down.
Mm-hmm.
But the Flight 93 film shows them rushing the cockpit. And I did say cockpit.
It was impossible
and,
to do even back then.
Yeah, and they were heroes, and and if it did happen that way, God bless them.
Nick Klein
I doubt
says.
it.
Nick Klein, one of our actually, Nick Klein is definitely. Nick Klein is Candy, by the way. Sorry, I totally just exploited him.
Oh my
I did not
God.
mean to do that. But you know what?
He's
This is
done.
Listen, this is what happens when you miss a podcast. Normally, I have Candy. You know that guy that's super, close-minded and very conservative. He's normally on the show. His name's Candy. Usually every single Saturday with us on the podcast, but he just couldn't make it because he's at the Black River. What the fuck, people? Anyways,
What's the Black River?
you're telling me it's fake.
Nobody's ever heard of that.
Right now,
ever.
he's naked in his basement jerking off. Anyways, Candy said, no evidence whatsoever. No, CJ. Come on, check. No, we don't know.
See, that's the problem, is that there's quite a few people who vote.
I think we should look
who-
up the Black River. What is this place?
I think it's like a giant gangbang or something.
No, I mean, that's the problem, is that people, they look at 9/11 the way that the government wants us to look at it. The narrative that we're supposed to see it as us
Just
versus
supposed to
them.
follow along
Yeah.
like the perfect little sheep that we
You
are.
gotta look at it that way.
So, Jackie, let's start with you. What is the biggest reason why you think 9/11 was an inside job? What is the single most piece of, what's the biggest evidence, the single piece of evidence that makes you believe that 9/11 was an inside job?
Pentagon. Everything to do with the Pentagon. Completely set up. It was bombs. There was explosions. There was never, ever, ever a plane that hit it. Show me one little ounce of evidence that a plane hit it, and then I might believe it.
B, how about you? The single biggest piece of evidence that makes you believe 9/11 was a inside job.
I don't even think it's like a single piece. It's just all of the pieces falling into place.
There isn't a single piece. That's a
there's
problem.
no one piece that is outstanding in my mind because all of them are equal in their own right.
So, before I get to you, Blue, I know there's supposedly tons of evidence, pieces of plane and pieces of evidence that they have in these giant hangars that normally hold airplanes, ironically. Giant hangars of evidence, but no one has been able to, no one has been able to even look at it and say, like, oh, by the way, this is a piece of the World Trade Center, or this might be some evidence. Supposedly, it's somewhere. There's supposed to be evidence in a giant hangar, but no one's ever been able to investigate it. Not even the government has been able to look at it. It's just sitting there locked, supposedly. Do you think it's even there? No, it's probably not fucking there.
No.
It's creepy. It's creepy. I don't like it. Blue?
Well, I think the invasion of Iraq makes it very obvious. Makes
Really?
It very simple.
So you think
Yeah.
the war is the single...
The war itself, the wars, because we went to Afghanistan and then suddenly they're like, well, we're going to go to Iraq as well because...
But why would we want to go to war? I know I've always said this. Jackie just said it earlier. I've
War
said this
makes money.
I've said that multiple times. That's about to say
it
war makes money.
It does a lot of things.
But
it does a lot of good
does
things.
the president really want to? If the president was directly involved, and let's say he orchestrated it, or at least he let it happen, why would a single president want to deal with all this fucking shit?
Well, I guess
You know what I mean? That's the real question. If it was an inside job, why would the government want to deal with something like this?
Well,
They knew there was going to be a giant conspiracy if it was an inside job. I mean, why did they let it happen ultimately? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, they wanted it to happen, and they wanted it to happen because just the same way that they had Pearl Harbor happen, because they want to go to war, and they need to have a reason to go to war, and the reason that they want to go to war is because it makes a lot of money, and also because it's a geopolitical strategy. If you have Iraq, you're right next to Iran, and Iran's right next to this
Iran,
country and that country.
I walk.
I mean, that's all I can say about
sleep.
it. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm a piece of shit.
So,
pregnant pause. I wanted to have like a 10-second pause. Guys, we're fans of America. We love America. We want America to stay great. We don't think America will be great again. We already know that America's great.
Anyway, like I was saying, I just think that the whole 9/11 thing doesn't make any sense to me at all. I just think Iraq was definitely one of the destinations that we wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And that's the one that makes the most sense.
So, who do you think was a bigger proponent of the inside job on 9/11 happening? Do you think it was Dick Cheney or Bush? If you had to guess, if you just had to guess,
Dick Cheney by far.
Oh, I feel like we got a caller. Okay, what is this silver thing that's going on inside my screen? We're getting a call in. Watch this here in just a second. The view, guys. We were talking about 9/11, and we're getting a call in about. You see that right here? What the fuck is that?
The move your glass.
What the fuck is that?
No, it's not. I just put this here, and it's been like that for like 10 minutes. It might be the silver from the paint bucket.
Could be.
Will you move it forward just a hair, just to see if it changes? No. The camera itself. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is, people. Yep, you're right there. It's perfect. All right, guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We just got a missed call. His name is Candy. We're going to call him back. If you guys have any comments, thoughts, please let us know. Please call in 636-926-6945. Once again, B, I'm going to ask you, how do you like this podcast so far? This being the first time on your show, on the show, sorry.
It's not my show.
On the show.
Yeah. It's been fun. Enjoying myself.
Good.
In a non-sexual way, of course.
Are you trying to say you hope it's a sexual way?
I don't know.
Do you have enough gas to get back home, or did you plan on staying here?
No, I definitely have enough gas to get home.
Okay, I was wondering if some like weird innuendo that he's like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna have to stay here. Working on the night moves. All right, guys, we're gonna call a person that just tried calling us. We just had to call in, people. His name is Candy. I missed his phone call, like I always do, so we're gonna call him back. We're gonna. Do you mind if we take a small break? But just
what do I care?
I mean, we care about your thoughts, if that's what you're trying to say.
No, you don't care about my thoughts.
Okay. Do you guys want to take a break now, or maybe after 9/11?
And after.
Okay, we'll do it after.
Really? Are you sure? Because I have to piss really bad.
Dude, you could have.
See?
All you had to do was speak
You don't
up.
care about my goddamn thoughts.
Goddamn, maybe I care too much.
Nobody cares.
All right. We're gonna call our missed call, our fan of the show. We'll find out who it is. I believe it's Candy, because he likes candy. He's probably not gonna answer.
I don't think he is.
Do you think he's downstairs still jerking off? Hey, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. This is CJ. Who is this?
This is Nick.
Oh, Nick.
Nicky.
No, okay.
I'm kidding. This is Candy.
Oh, hey, Candy. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
I just caught a glimpse of your guys' show tonight talking about 9/11 again.
Do you have any?
I found it.
Okay. Do you have any input about 9/11? What is your single biggest piece of evidence to you that makes you think that 9/11 is or is not an inside job?
Well, there's not really any concrete evidence that it is an inside job. It's all speculation and the anger of the citizens wanting it to be more than what it actually was that day. I mean, I think there was a lot of ignorance on the government side as far as ignoring the threats and the facts that Al-Qaeda said that they were going to attack us by plane. So, yeah, they had their heads in the sand, but as far as them wanting it to happen,
yeah,
I don't know. There's not really any concrete evidence of that. Would it surprise me? Probably not, but there's still no evidence to support your guys' theories.
Wow. Okay, so once again, Candy, who, by the way, is normally on the show every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central, Going Dutch Radio Network on Facebook and YouTube and iTunes. Sorry, plug. With that being said, Candy, you believe that 9/11, the whole orchestration of just how it went down, the plane hitting the Pentagon, the planes hitting World Trade Center, you believe that it was just the terrorist and that we couldn't have stopped it. We didn't know ahead of time. You just think what happened. How am I trying to say this? It's even hard to even explain how 9/11. You can't even explain 9/11 without saying there's an inside job. So you do not think 9/11 was an inside job whatsoever?
As far as knowing that the World Trade Centers were going to be attacked in the Pentagon and fall, no, I don't.
Crazy.
I don't believe that at all. I sure don't. I just think that our government's heads were in the sand when they knew that an attack was possibly coming, but they didn't know how or what buildings would be attacked or how we would be attacked. But I do think the government knew that Al-Qaeda was planning an attack by plane.
Yeah, but
And
Candy, if I may interject, Osama bin Laden actually hit one of our main Navy boats in 1998 when Bill Clinton was in office. So you think that he'd be on the radar for some sort of terrorist attack?
Well, the only thing that I would question that's really, really suspicious is they are very, very thorough with their searches at the airport, especially now, but even so before 9/11. And these terrorists were in the country, and they were allowed to get on the plane, and some of them had a flight restricted, their names were flight restricted and everything like that. They all got on there, all 19 of them, or however many there were, with box cutters and everything like that. So my only question is, how did they get onto the planes? That's the only thing that's a little fishy for me.
Well, did they have metal detectors before 9/11?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
They had metal detectors.
Yeah, metal they didn't have the full body scanner, no. But yeah, they definitely had metal detectors.
There's no way today any of us would be able to get onto the plane with a box cutter or the fake bomb or whatever they had. So that's very, very suspicious. And we can ask all kinds of questions of why did this happen, why did that happen. But to actually think that the government was a part of thousands of people dying on that day, I don't believe it. I just think they were ignorant to the fact that we were going to be attacked, and they knew we were going to be attacked. But maybe their egos got in the way and just said, "Oh, there's no way they're going to get a big attack," and they were wrong.
That's the only thing I think about it. Real quick. So, I mean, I just want to talk about this. So, with 9/11, people, that's what we're talking about. 9/11, conspiracy or not, here we come. I think it's pretty interesting. How the hell did the hijackers get to the cockpit? Because it is locked. How the hell did they make it inside? The pilot said, "Hey, come on in." What? Well, no, I'm just curious. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Well, they opened up the door
and
because I'm sure they took someone hostage and they were cutting throats with their box cutters on the plane. We know that happened. So maybe
but here's the thing:
said,
every cockpit from since the early '90s can hear audio of the plane, of the rest of the plane, not just the cockpit. But
it's one of
those are never
CJ,
discovered ever anymore.
It's one of those
not the black
situations
boxes.
To where
it's
one of those situations to where what would you do if you were in that situation, and nobody was in that situation.
In what situation? What are you talking about?
On the plane, with what happened, how they get into the cockpit and everything. These people were terrified. Nobody except for them knows what was going on.
So the job of the pilot, and every pilot is trained for hijacks and what to do in certain situations. They are trained to never open that cockpit door for any reason. Their job is to land the plane regardless. That is their job, is to land the plane, and that's why it is a fact, or at least it was supposed to be even back then, that if a plane was flying out of territory of where they're supposed to be flying and they think that they're going to fly it into buildings and try to kill more people, you shoot down that plane because you try to minimize the amount of deaths. So the fact that every single hijacker somehow made it into the cockpit, it's not easily, but they all made it, and they're all fucking flying the plane, seems ridiculous. You know what the chance of hitting the Pentagon is? That is only about 7 stories tall. You know what the chance of hitting that with a plane that's going over 500 miles an hour? You know what the chance of being able to hit that? It's got to be almost astronomically impossible.
We can talk about the chances, but the fact is something did hit the Pentagon, and there's 2 planes that hit the World Trade Centers. Now, it would take some skill to hit the World Trade Centers. You really got to know what you're doing, and apparently they did.
Yeah, apparently they did. Candy, do you also believe everything that the news shows you?
There's no evidence to support your guys' theory that it was a missile or anything like that.
You know what, Candy?
I don't think it was a missile. I think a plane actually hit it.
Candy,
hit the Pentagon?
I actually agree.
No, not the Pentagon. The World Trade Center.
Gotcha.
Candy, I actually agree halfway with you because I think that we always focus on the minutia of this entire issue.
The what?
Well,
I was about to say, what the fuck is a minutia?
it's like a very small.
describe
It's
that
all
word.
about a very small thing that people want to focus on that takes their eye off the ball, which is that it was an inside job by the administration. But we talk about engineering. We talk about, how did these guys get onto the plane? And we're going to talk about like the policy of, immigration and how these people got into the country. I mean, it's like the fucking JFK assassination.
There's a lot of stuff going on with what happened.
I mean,
that
seriously.
day and up to it, but nobody can tell me. Nobody knows 100% what happened, what's a conspiracy, what's not. Nobody knows.
We can tell you a
100%.
few facts.
It's all opinions and all speculation.
But here's the thing. This is why this is the biggest conspiracy known to mankind, and why I feel like the consensus of the human population believes there is some conspiracy. It's because there had been hundreds of protocols broken and let down in order for all this to happen like it did. And it's fucking impossible.
Well, the fact that they were in training when all this happened made it,
Well, we do have immigrants come across all the time, though.
Oh, here we go with immigration.
Well, I'm just saying that might have been a reason.
Those were immigrants.
Build a wall so we can fly a plane into it.
See, that's what I'm saying. But that's probably how they got over here.
Fighting for immigrants to be able to stay in this country illegally for whatever reason. So there's a lot of ignorance in this country, and nobody really wants to buckle down and stare at the facts. You got to present facts with what happened and what is going to happen if we keep allowing illegal immigrants to come into this country illegally.
But like if we're talking about specifically about 9/11, I don't know.
And
what we're talking about
were they
anymore.
legal
Whatever.
or were they illegal? I don't even know the full story to that. Were these terrorists? Did they become citizens and then do this, or were they illegal the entire time?
Who knows?
No, they came in. They had a visa to go in the United States
From Saudi Arabia
to get flight training. Ironically, that is true. To get flight training, and they were all approved, and they were just supposed to be good people and la-di-da-di-da. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. We do have a caller right now. His name is Sam.
Hey, Sam.
He's not. Well, hold on. He's not on yet. Jesus, Jackie.
You guys can go to him. I will see you guys for the next show.
Yes, Candy. All right,
Thanks
Candy.
for calling in, Candy.
Bye, guys.
We appreciate it. That was Candy, people. That was Candy. All right. I don't want to call Sam back. I feel like we should take a very small 5-minute break. 7 minutes.
Yeah, I'd take a piss.
But he just tried calling like 3 fucking times.
Call him.
in a
Call
row.
him now. Definitely. He's anxious. He's
I
got
know.
a lot to say.
But I know that's the thing. He's going to be. I really want to talk to Sam, and we will.
He's just got to wait a minute. Sorry.
No,
Sam.
he will want a lot of input. It's going to be like a 30-minute conversation. So do you want to do that after or before the break?
After
Let's
the
take a
break,
break.
yeah. I'll take a break, yeah.
All right, Sam, if you're listening, I hope you are. We just missed your phone call at least 2 or 3 times. We are going to call you back right after the break. People, we are talking about one of the biggest conspiracies or the biggest truths or the craziest shit that's going on, that's ever gone on in the United States. That is 9/11, and we will be right back on Going Dutch Radio Network. Does anyone have any final thoughts before we go to commercial break?
It's all a lie.
I also have to pee.
That's it.
That
We'll
was
be back,
your-
Sam.
Quality content.
All right, Sam. We
Sam,
will
I
call
am.
you back. We'll be right back via Going Dutch Radio Network. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. We'll be right back in exactly 10 minutes, hopefully.
Up and on my way. I'd hit the clock if I had to, but the way I'm feeling it would be stealing. Missed out on the day. Could be the sunshine in my eye. Could be you right by my side. Things are looking up today. Things are looking
Guys, I just want to say that I was on YouTube a lot recently. I get on there all the time, and I listen to Michael Bolton. I listen to a lot of different bands, but I was scrolling down, and I typed in Dutch. I just was looking for the movie Dutch, and basically what happened was I saw Dutch Radio Network, which you can find on YouTube.
Yeah.
I started watching it. I enjoyed what I saw, what I heard, and I said, hey, I have to follow these guys, and now I am on the show. I kid you not. Your dreams can come true, and you can be on Dutch Radio Network as a guest. You're not going to be a main star like us, but you can be a guest. That's one of the places you can go to watch Dutch Radio Network is on YouTube. I'm going to let this guy to the left of me tell you where else you can find Dutch Radio Network. Thank you.
I'll be honest, the first time I realized Going Dutch Radio Network was the best podcast, not only in St. Louis of motherfucking Missouri, but in the whole United States and the whole world. It just blew my mind. I mean, it just absolutely blew my mind. They have the best Facebook page ever. I mean, oh my God, I could just go on and on. You know, if you guys ever go on their website, goingdutchradionetwork.com, it is like the best fucking website ever. And I was once on the show, and oh my God, like, I almost passed out. Like, the camera's on me, and I was just feeling so good but nervous, and I was a little hard. But
It's okay. That's the way I felt the first time I was on the show.
Yeah.
Okay? But now I'm kind of a regular on the show, and I really enjoy it. A lot.
You guys are a bunch of Nancy fucking Pantsy boys. Let me tell you something. I listen to Going Dutch Radio because I like their kind of talk. They talk straight and they talk forward, and that's why I listen to fucking Going Dutch goddamn radio.
All right, guys, so look up Going Dutch Radio Network, like us on Facebook, and subscribe.
YouTube and Twitch.com.
Whatever they just said.
All right, guys. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. That's right, guys. Going Dutch Radio Network. I am CJ, your host, and the crew with me today, to the right of me, if you're looking at the camera, it is Blue. How's it going, Blue?
Not bad. Feeling good.
All right.
Feeling pumped up for this.
Wow. Good. All right, and
fucking
to the...
pumped. No, seriously, I'm really pumped.
Like, how pumped are you?
Like, I am just keep going. Just talk to the other guy. I can't even explain how pumped up I am.
Well, I have a name, Blue.
All right. On that note, the man to the left of me, his name is Candy. How's it going, Candy?
It's going pretty good.
So pumped.
I'm just as pumped as he is. Well, maybe not as pumped.
I am so fucking pumped.
But a little pumped.
God, I feel like there's a lot of pumping going on.
I actually have a few questions. I was actually wondering how the show came about, Dutch Radio. You never actually shared it with our viewers. Maybe you have, but I haven't heard anything about it.
Yes. So me, CJ, that's right. I am CJ, the host. I decided during conception that I wanted to start doing a online podcast where we could do it live at least, once a week and be able to kind of have archive podcasts to watch, because I thought it'd be fun to talk about politics, conspiracies, controversies, and so forth. And that's really how it came about, if you want me to be honest. It's that simple. And within about 3 weeks, I think, we got all of the equipment. We got everything: microphones, mixers, computer software, everything. People, you have no idea how much this shit costs,
including the table.
Oh no, we're getting a new table.
We're getting a new table now.
We are getting a new table, just like we got a new projector.
We're moving up in the world here.
What kind of table are we gonna get? I like this table.
We're gonna get a rectangular table that looks just like this one, but it's smaller.
Can I put my gum under it? Because that's what I like to do with my gum.
I would advise against that. It has sentimental value to me.
Okay. I won't do
it is my table, but it's our table now for the show.
Can I put my penis on it occasionally?
Speaking of labels and penises, I don't know how that was a good segue. I want to talk about how we got our names on the show, our nicknames on the show. So, Blue, would you like to talk about how you got your nickname? And can you explain it?
It's a very interesting story. I showed up on my first day here, and I was wearing a lot of blue. And then one of the two guys who used to be on the show was like, hey, that guy's wearing a lot of blue, so they call me Blue.
That is actually a pretty good name.
I mean, it is, and you don't understand, folks. Blue,
It's better than my name.
To the right of me, always on the camera. I mean, my God, he has never not worn blue ever. I don't know if it's a
Never
fashion
not worn.
statement or if he's just really into it. But
I'm not a Democrat though.
anyways, to the camera's left, as always, is Candy. And Candy, how did you get your name? How'd your name come about?
Do you even know?
I know my
That
name.
sounds so,
Okay, it wasn't my choice, but it was kind of interesting the first day at work here because this is kind of work.
Wow.
Every Saturday
This
night.
becoming a job, man.
I said, "What should my nickname be?" You guys were naming out names, and then someone said Candy. I don't know if it was you, CJ, or Blue, but
I think it was me.
Was
but-
he?
I was thinking something sweet when I was looking at him, like,
yeah, he's like Candy. So I said, you know what? That's fine.
Some sweet
It
candy.
doesn't really matter what my nickname is, but Candy has kind of stuck with me.
right. I mean, I remember Blue first said Blowjob Betty. I'm like, let's go a little,
It has to be appropriate.
Exactly.
And we can sell candy while we're talking about me.
Right, exactly.
You should sell candy.
All right, guys, don't forget to watch Going Dutch Radio Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We are on commercial break. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Please like and subscribe to us on Facebook and look us up on our own website. That's right, guys. We have a www.goingdutchradionetwork.com. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Sneak a peek in my head, past the promise, past regret, to the place where I hide. You could come inside in your face and your ears, all my hopes and my fears. I'm a freak and a fake. You could take me or leave me. This is true, as true as it needs to be. I found something that works for me well. I'm surrounded by assassins I can't see without my glasses. I'm afraid they're whispering things about me that are mean. From now on, things might get weird, don't settle in. Or shed a tear, well. found something that works for me well. You should laugh, you should cry, you could close your eyes and go to sleep and have a dream
are looking up today. Things are looking up today. That is Sean McGovern. We work with him. This is Going Dutch Radio Network, people. We are back. He is. I know. He's never on the show. No one can ever hear you. This is Going Dutch Radio Network, people. We are back from commercial break. This is Going Dutch Radio Network. Yeah.
You need one of those radio switches for that kind of stuff.
All right. Jackie.
Yes.
First time on the show. How do you like it?
Love it. I'm famous.
Okay.
Awesome.
I like that you think that we're famous. And B, your first time on the show. How's it going?
Loving it.
Wow. Everybody loves the show.
Love it.
How about you, Blue? You
know I love the show.
Pessimistic motherfucker.
Why am I pessimistic?
Here we go. All right, guys. So we were talking about 9/11. We did have multiple missed calls from one particular person. His name is Sam.
Sam, I am.
Exactly.
Where are you, Sam?
We're about to find out. We're going to try giving him a call real quick. I know he's going to want to talk about 9/11, and that is what we were talking about prior to going on commercial break, was 9/11. We're going to talk about it only for a few more minutes. Let him get what he needs to get out, because he's going to...
Vent.
He's going to have a lot to say.
Don't say anything. I mean, really, don't say anything at all. Let him vent.
You're live. Go. All right, we're calling Sam, a faithful fan.
Sam, I am.
And a guest. Answer,
Oh,
Sam.
come on, Sam. God damn it. You called us a billion times.
Sam Catanzaro's office.
Say that again, sir?
Sam Catanzaro's office. What the fuck do you want? Why am I getting a call from a restricted number?
Sam, you are live, Going Dutch Radio Network. What do you got to say?
Oh, it's Going Dutch, guys. It's not the cops. Anyway, hey, what's up?
Wow. Not too much. You are live right now, Sam. Tell us your thoughts. Why did you call?
Well, actually, I couldn't hear you guys because I'm in a bar right now. Okay? With my buddies, Ryan and Paige. And, but we turned it on. I'm like, no, you guys got a woman on.
I know.
That's not CJ. So yeah, I turned on the show, and I was like, I just had to call in. I had to hear a female's voice.
I like it.
How does it feel, Sam? How does it feel?
to hear a female's voice?
Yes.
Just like any other female's voice that I would hear, but it's kind of
I'm
cool
the
to
new
hear it
member.
on Going Dutch Radio podcast.
Hey, yes. Okay, so you said Ryan and Paige, that's who you're hanging out with. Are they fans of the show?
Are they what?
Are they fans of the show, Sam?
Yeah, they're fans of the show. Ryan's been commenting. He's watched a few episodes.
Good.
Paige is his wife.
Oh, okay.
Paige is like Xeno Warrior Princess?
Yes.
That's Paige.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
So is there any input that you have about 9/11, Sam?
Yeah, 9/11 is tragic. It's a tragedy.
Very.
Because whether it was a government conspiracy or not, whatever you believe, or if it was really, how they say it happened, you got to understand that thousands of Americans lost their lives. Like, either way, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
yes, Sam.
you got it. Like, I mean, there were innocent people that did not need to fucking die. I watched this fucking this YouTube video, and it was like I didn't really know what it was until I clicked on it because I was watching, I think, last year's stuff about 9/11, and it was this guy, and he just took a bunch of clips and he made a montage of the people that jumped to their deaths.
God damn.
Like, he found hidden footage and footage from news networks and shit like that. And
I watched that. That was
everybody ended up bashing this guy on YouTube, and I think it ended up getting taken down. But it's like you're showing people basically committing suicide.
There's a guy that's got a
just,
famous
choosing
name for
the
that,
easy
the
way
Fallen
out.
Man or something.
So it was it was kind of fucked up, but it actually really makes you think what kind of horrors that they all went through.
I definitely agree, Sam. Absolutely. So Sam, you do believe that 9/11 was an inside job, right?
I think there's a lot of evidence that points to it. I also think there's a lot of evidence that points that it wasn't. So I think that it just, I mean, overall, it's just a fucking tragedy, all around, I do believe that it changed the country forever, and I do believe that if it was Bin Laden, I think he succeeded because his goal was not to take a bunch of American lives. His goal was to fucking cripple our economy.
Okay.
And he knew that by attacking us, he would fucking do that. And where we are right now, you know, so yeah.
That's a little bit ironic. I almost
I
want
don't
to
know.
argue that.
I can't say.
Sam, do you have any final thoughts before we let you go? Because that music is way too fucking loud.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No final thoughts. Just yeah. Ryan says hi. Paige says hi.
Just glad to see a female on the show. Say it.
What's up?
Glad to see a female on the
What'd
show.
you-
Just say it.
I'm glad to see a female on the
That's
show.
right, Sam. Sam, I am.
I was about to tape my dick to my leg and tuck my balls and just, but because I'm like, we have no. What's the opposite of testosterone?
Estrogen?
We have no estrogen on the show.
Yeah.
We have no estrogen on the show. We need some estrogen. God damn it. Anyway, all right, I'll let you guys go.
Thank you, Sam. Have a good night, buddy.
All right.
Bye,
You too.
Sam.
Thanks for calling in.
All right, guys, that was Sam. He's a faithful listener of the show, and apparently we got a couple new fans, Ryan and Paige, the dynamic duo. They are both fans of the show, and we greatly appreciate it. We appreciate anyone who's watching right now and in the future watching Going Dutch Radio Network podcast. Please comment, call in 636-926-6945. People.
6945.
Keep on saying that. People. We talked about 9/11, and I feel like it's just too much. Are you okay, Blue?
Yeah, no. I'm totally fine. It's just that, you know, when you talk about 9/11, you just get like your brain gets twisted. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
sick.
It is sick.
There's so many fucking different ways to think about it.
There's lies, deceit.
I remember just walking outside and being scared, just looking up in the sky, you know,
Yeah.
right after it happened.
Absolutely.
No, but you know what? Just before we get off this subject, I just want to, you know, ask everybody at the table, how did you feel when it first happened, and how did you feel when you
Wait,
realized...
there's a song for this. You should play it.
Whenever you realized that maybe it wasn't exactly what you thought it was.
I was in 3rd grade.
Same.
So
I don't think you were in 3rd grade.
I was definitely.
I
in
was a
3rd grade.
freshman.
9. You're 6 years older than me. That makes sense.
Am I?
5 years older. Yeah, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I was in 3rd grade. I'm positive. Anyways, so I was 3rd grade. She was in 9th grade. Are you guys both the same? No, you guys aren't both the same age. You weren't. There's no way you're 9th grade because he was in 9th grade. He's 35. Aren't you?
You weren't 9th grade, buddy.
How? Yeah, I know. I was in like my senior year.
The truth comes out.
What the fuck, dude?
Well, no, I mean,
First, hold
I
on,
don't
hold
fucking
on.
know.
First, you wanted to talk about are the terrorists sometimes right, and now you just lied about your age, about when 9/11 happened. What the fuck's going on, dude?
I did not deliberately lie about my age. I was just sort of like thinking nostalgically about my
Your-
school years.
your youth.
All right, my school years. Yeah.
All right,
That's what I was thinking about.
We've talked about 9/11 quite a bit, people, and we appreciate anyone who's watching this train wreck of a podcast. Which I'm kidding, it's amazing. It's amazing.
That's because I'm here, duh.
Exactly. Special guest Jackie,
Well, no,
and
you
of
know,
course
I mean-
B. We love it. Is there any final thoughts about 9/11 before we finally go to our final topics of the night?
It's sad, and I give my prayers to all the families that have gone through it.
Okay.
Honestly, I do. That's sad.
Anyone? Any other final
And
thoughts?
still
about,
going through it.
Any final thoughts about 9/11?
And it's all fake.
No,
I got nothing.
No thoughts.
Say something. Final thought. Jerry Springer, final thought. What's your final thought?
Nothing.
Guilty.
Nada.
You guys are fucking ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I asked a question, but nobody answered, so whatever.
Oh, we just went red for a little bit on our streaming.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I was also in 3rd grade, and my grandmother was actually student teaching in the next classroom over, and I remember distinctively all the teachers going into the middle of the room and her coming over to me, grabbing my hand and saying, "We're going home."
Yeah.
And booked it.
Yeah, my mom pulled me immediately.
She pulled me too.
She couldn't take it.
And I remember the teacher telling me, "I hope everything's okay with you and your family," as I walked out. And I had no idea what was going on. I literally had no idea what was going on.
But what about whenever you thought that maybe the whole thing was bullshit?
I never thought it was at that age.
I did not realize that 9/11 could possibly be some conspiracy or some inside job probably until I was
older.
Actually, only 13. Really, because really after about 3 years of 9/11 happened. So 2004, 2005 is when you could start. That's when Michael Moore started to really. Michael Moore, the guy that believes totally 9/11 is just bullshit, and he was actually pretty much the first. He was the catalyst of the reason why I feel like a lot of people today are so open about it.
His DVD is what got me thinking.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
That's what the final thought should be. Look at the footage tonight. Look at the footage.
Apparently,
start watching it.
First time on the show, she wants to run it.
I mean, it's the truth. Look at the footage. You'll get hooked on it. When you start watching it, you get hooked on it, and you continue to watch hours and hours of it, and you'll realize that.
Are we talking about Going Dutch Radio Network or 9/11?
9/11.
Okay, I think it applies to both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch both.
It's all a conspiracy. All right, guys. Going Dutch Radio Network. What's our final topics? Blue. Before you fall asleep, buddy. You always get weird at this time.
Are the terrorists sometimes right?
And has the courts gone too far? So blind justice, guys. Do you believe that justice is blind? Okay, do you feel like it's 100% fair? Whether it has to do with a traffic ticket, whether it has to do with going to court for child support, anything. Do you feel like justice is 100% fair and blind as far as anything goes?
Absolutely
not anymore.
Why is that, B?
Well, I just look. There's, we were talking earlier about, cops killing minorities left and right all over America, and most of them get off, even though there's clear evidence. In the case of Philando Castile, clear video evidence, both from the cop car and from a live video feed of it, that that cop straight up murdered that man. There was no cause for it, just murdered him, and yet that cop is acquitted. So nowadays, I don't think justice is completely blind. I think that we do definitely have faults throughout our entire justice system.
Blue, what do you think?
I kind of agree with him. And so we're talking about just in general justice, or are we talking about any specific cases? I mean, what are we talking about here?
I mean, not just that. I mean, I like that B brings up points about Black Lives Matter or backing the blue, that kind of controversy.
Yeah.
One against another, which I feel like,
What about the Nike thing? People
that was the first thing that we just talked about. It's the first topic on the show earlier today.
Damn, I missed it. I'm sorry.
I know.
Fuck.
What do you mean missed it? You watched it upstairs.
They weren't watching.
We were talking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I figured. Okay.
I mean, we were watching, but
yes, Nike.
Girl talk.
It's all bullshit. But so justice. We're talking about if you have, for instance, let's say you're recently divorced from a wife that you were married to for 10 years and you have 2 children. Child support. If you are the male, and let's just say you were the breadwinner, or let's say you were just trying to get custody, the women, the woman's side, the ex-wife in general, the
women win those. Yeah.
A good
decisions.
3-4 out of times.
Most of the time.
3
right.
out of 4 times.
Easily.
Is that because of blind justice? Is it fair, or
because because the judges go by precedent. They say, well, this judge decided this, so I'm going to go with that. Just like this Kavanaugh guy, who's being, he's going to be the next Supreme Court justice. Or
crooked as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever they ask him a question, they're like, well, how do you feel about this? He's like, well, this is what, the previous precedent was. This is how they decided before me. So that's how all the judges go.
That's exactly how they do it.
They don't go by their own independent, thought process.
Cases.
They go by how they argued before themselves every single fucking time. I'm like, what's the point of being a Supreme Court justice or a justice at all? You have no independent thought. You're supposed to agree with whatever happened before you.
What's interesting?
Makes no sense to me.
I totally agree with you. What's pretty interesting? How about that St. Louis judge recently who stated that there was like an X amount of cops that this judge said if any of these cops in St. Louis are involved where they have to go to court because of some crime, they will all the people that were sentenced of that crime, all the defendants, all the whatever. There will not be a hearing, no matter what. Those people that were... How am I trying to explain? Does anyone know about this? Does anyone know what the fuck I'm talking about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
There was a judge recently, 2 weeks ago in St. Louis, Missouri, where we're doing the podcast plug, where there was a judge like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago that stated she listed all
She's
these
a
names.
circuit attorney.
She's a circuit attorney, and she listed like all these cops. No, it's circuit
She
judge.
will not work.
Circuit judge,
no, it's
not
a circuit
attorney.
because I know somebody that works with them.
No, because an attorney would no, it was a judge. It's a judge. A judge decides your fate. Attorney helps defend you. Correct?
Are you talking about where she won't work with these certain cops?
Yes.
Yes, that's a circuit attorney. She was a circuit attorney.
Really?
Hmm?
Good to know.
Are you talking about the one in the Greitens case?
No, I cannot believe you don't know about this. This is huge. This is bigger.
Well, I
than
mean, you're being
everything.
very vague about it.
I know,
Like, I don't know
because
who the hell
I
you're
should have
talking
looked
about.
into it before I blurted my mouth about it. Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is seriously interesting. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, there's an attorney that said, the circuit attorney of the government that
Yeah.
stated, I will not defend these names of these cops. And it was like over 20 or 40 cop names of any case. Like, she just will not do it because they're so dirty. They're
Right.
so bad, so
Yeah.
heinous.
No, that's the same chick who did Greitens. I
Is
think.
it?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me,
Yeah, it is.
Tell me that's not
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
But they won't release the names.
I mean, do the cops know if they're one of them? If they are one of the names that won't be defended in court if a crime happens? Or
They probably don't.
I mean, that's got to be fucking nerve-wracking for the cops. And now
And
with that,
see,
it's crazy.
Once again,
this-
I have
this
no
kind
idea
of-
what
is
side
that
to be on.
is that legal? Is that legal for a circuit attorney that legally is supposed to be defending the government as far as cases go? And this attorney is allowed to turn
Kim
down.
Garner.
See,
Kim Garner. Yep.
Whenever
that's
I hear that type of thing, I go back to the Boston Massacre, which we all learned in school.
That's a long time
But
ago.
the super interesting thing was that the British soldiers were actually completely innocent. They were found to be innocent in a court of law, but nobody wanted to defend them, except was it John Adams? I think it was John Adams,
The fifth president?
Yes, maybe the second.
I thought he was the fourth.
No, it was certainly the first John Adams.
Here we go. There's another conspiracy.
But anyways, like he defended them.
Was
he
John
actually,
Adams the president?
Yeah, he ruined his entire law practicing career.
Yeah.
To defend these British soldiers who everybody had already pegged as, yeah, you killed these people, even though they did kill them, but they were egged on, so they were found innocent in our court of law.
Jeez.
That is blind justice, like through and through. And whenever I hear that type of thing, like the attorney might have the better, like she might have better knowledge than we do on it, but at the same time, it's like, no, you still have to go in blind. You can't have a predisposition on who's guilty and who's not.
So, good points. Speaking of blind justice, and if someone's truly guilty and he's accused of murder, does he go away for murder or not, or is he found innocent? Let me ask you this: just the fact of if you have enough money, if you have a good enough lawyer, even if you're fucking guilty, you can get off on that sentence. You're going to be free. Perfect example, everybody. He was a football player.
O.J. Simpson.
Yes. Perfect example.
It's very obvious.
If you have a good enough lawyer, if you have enough
the
money,
money.
all right.
Money.
If you have a Kardashian lawyer, then you're going to be free. And there's so much evidence that he was fucking guilty. Come on.
It's all about the glove.
Oh, the glove was such bullshit.
Well.
That's what it all came down to. That really was what determined.
You know
it,
what?
I feel
He was
like.
back then. The DNA evidence was not considered a very valid,
We all knew he was guilty. The evidence.
Everybody
just
knew.
wasn't there.
Come on, man.
Johnny Cochran's defense was
I
brilliant.
knew. I think I was in first grade, and I knew.
It was fucking brilliant, though. I mean, that was to me.
Did you ever think O.J. Simpson was innocent? Like, honestly.
Wait, didn't he write a
No,
book
I
of
didn't.
how
I
I would
didn't.
murder
I
her
didn't.
if I did or something like
Yes,
that?
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, he actually had a reality.
O.J. Simpson only just like years,
really did.
years after he
What's
was
the book called?
only after O.J.
Probably the same thing. How?
No, what is it called? It's like how I would murder her if I did.
I think it's like how I would
yeah.
have done it.
No, that's-
so
that's
O.J.
totally
Simpson
it.
only a few years after he was
Which is ridiculous.
set free, or he was proven innocent of killing that woman.
Yeah.
He made and narrated a book called "If I Would Have Done It, This Is How I Would Have Done It."
Right.
If I would have murdered her, this is how I would have done it.
Stupid.
Yeah.
If that doesn't even,
Well, that's why he's in jail now. It's called karma.
Oh no, he's out of jail.
He's out again?
He got out about a
He's
year
out,
ago
yeah.
or so.
Oh, that's right. He did, yeah.
That's why
You're
they
right.
had that Netflix special recently come back out with a Cuba Gooding Jr. or whatever the fuck it is, or Gooding.
Yeah, and to me that was one of the. Oh my God, that was such a great
Wait, why did he go back to jail? What was it? He robbed a.
Perjury.
Yeah, he like robbed
Oh,
somebody
really?
who had like his.
Really?
Is he gonna write a book about that too?
That's how
Like-
he originally went to jail, was perjury.
It was his
Perjury
of that case. They couldn't try him again for murder, so they just gave him a super long sentence for
no.
perjury.
Here's the thing. So obviously the courts and the government, decides if you're innocent or guilty, and they are usually the ones that start the case. Maybe I think it's a civil suit. Maybe the private family of that death versus them. Is that what you mean? It's like it was a civil case that they turned
No,
into?
you can't. So you can't try somebody for something that they've already been.
What's that
proven
called? Double something?
Double jeopardy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So
So if she was still alive, he could go murder her right now?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
But
no, basically what he did was he robbed.
Don't give anybody ideas.
He robbed somebody who had his memorabilia written on some. Yeah.
Shabba-da-ba-boo.
He robbed some
Biatch.
people. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, go ahead, Blue.
All right, so anyway, he robbed some people
Now
who
there's two
had
of
like his signatures on his footballs, and he robbed them, and he got in trouble for it.
That's the reason why he was
I
in
thought
jail.
there was
for
something
long?
else. I watched something about
that
it.
that and perjury.
That's what happened.
That's why he was originally booked, and then he was tried for perjury on the original case. Both of them.
How did he
Boom.
like rob somebody or something?
Okay, you know quite a bit, so go on.
That is the extent of
Well,
what
I know
I
quite
know.
a bit, but you guys like
Go
interrupted
ahead.
me because you guys are stupid.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Okay, whatever. No, I'm not gonna talk. No, I'm not. 'Cause
Can you
guys-
play some sad music real quick? I'm kidding.
You guys just sound like you guys just sound like people who like to tell
Is-
a
is-
very long term like
Not
like
when you're monotone
information.
as fuck.
So what about you? I mean, you're always like, well, I'm the host and I'm gonna keep talking. I mean, you're boring too. What are you talking about?
Easy.
Yeah, you're very boring.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're boring. So, and I'm boring, and what are you gonna do?
Guys, this is Going Dutch Radio Network. We are live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central.
Wah, wah, wah.
We do have. We
Wait,
do
what are you
have.
drinking, by the way?
We do have.
Oh my God! He turned the microphone off.
We do have two guests on the show.
Jackie.
We do have two guests on the show. To the camera's left is Jackie.
Big pussy.
And is B.
Wait, that was awkward.
We have B, who's the first time on the show as well, and we greatly appreciate having them on. So, guys, blind justice, does it really, truly
Clearly not. This is
exist?
not blind justice right now. Justice for Blue.
Let me ask you this. Because, come on, just...
Hey, come on, seriously. You turned me off.
That's blind justice right
beg
there.
for
You
it.
want to cut off his
Beg
mic.
for it.
Yeah, cut off. Yeah.
Beg for it.
Fuck you, dude. I'll fucking walk out. I don't give a
Oh,
shit.
here we go. I tell you,
Whatever.
he gets weird towards the end of the show. He always does.
Oh yeah, I get really weird because I get my mic.
Sorry.
Wait, what did you say? I'm kidding.
Oh boy.
Just pinch him. That's what my mom used to do when we would get in trouble. Just pinch him.
Oh, I
Pinch him.
Yeah.
Pinch him.
Now that's very weird.
Okay, so let's get back to the show.
Let's.
We are getting towards the end of the show.
And
blind justice, is
racism is absolutely alive, and so there is blind justice. Period. Hate to say it, I've witnessed it myself, 100%. I have. Unless you witness it yourself, you don't know. Unless you've gone through it yourself, you will never know.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
People just being convicted of things that they haven't done.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Absolutely. And not only that, how about what's that? Not stereotype, racial profiling.
Absolutely.
That is the true definition of
not blind justice.
Not blind justice.
Yep.
Unjust blindness.
Unjust blind. Is that a word?
No, unjustness blind. I mean, here's the thing, people. We all know that there is, somebody's job is to fucking convict you. It is literally their job. Right? There's attorneys it's their job to convict you. So they will do everything in their power to make sure that they convict you guilty, whether you're innocent or not, even if down deep in their heart, if they were innocent, they legally, their job to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year is to make you look guilty. And I feel like that's kind of a problem as well. I mean,
the system is corrupt. The whole system is. I mean, even as far as just getting a ticket, how they do things, it's just not. How come you can pay something off and get it lowered down to a different fine? I didn't even do that, but how come they can do that?
Tell me, yeah, no, that
it's all about money,
totally
and
agree.
it's just the system is completely screwed up.
I totally agree.
It's about money.
I feel like the entire justice system is fucked up, and it's all based on money. Fines, just pay money, and then you're free.
Okay, you didn't do this, we'll drop it down to this, even though you didn't do that. But as long as you're paying it.
I mean, isn't it true? Does anyone have get quite a few speeding tickets here?
I've had one when I was 16.
I've never had a speeding ticket. Anyone here has had a speeding ticket?
I've definitely had.
Have you had more than one? B? I'm just curious.
Yes.
Okay, so do you just let it? Just.
Do you pay it or do you get it fixed?
Oh, I definitely pay it. Because if you don't pay it,
then your speeding ticket wasn't serious.
No. Listen, speeding tickets. Do you go to call ticket law?
No, I don't.
It depends on how bad it is. What it is.
But see, most people that get a really 25 over speed limit speeding ticket, what they do is they call ticketwhatever.com or they call these 1-800 ticket number, and it's a small claims court lawyer, some small little lawyer that will go to the judge and say, hey, look, you know who I am. Will you lower this from a 25? This is going over 25
lower
speeding
it to
ticket.
A littering ticket.
Go, yeah. Will you please
Even
lower
though
it to
I
a littering
didn't
ticket?
litter, I'm going to pay for a littering ticket.
And the judge will say, okay, but you have to pay this much more now. Your ticket was going to be $100. Now it's going to be $400.
Yep.
So they're literally.
They run you because now it's not going to be on your record.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's not fucked up.
It's very.
You know what? The judge says if you pay $300 more, we will take your speeding ticket that was going to have points on your driving record, and we're gonna drop it down to a littering ticket. But you have to pay us more money. You got to pay the government more money, and then we'll just drop it. That's not how justice works.
Well,
Is that fair?
No, I mean that's why I'm always about states' rights, and then you go to counties' rights. You go to, I mean, really, you go down and you get to the point where the people who live in that community have the most power. They determine what the laws are.
That's why there's protests.
Yeah. I mean, and there should be protests, and there should be a lot of people who go out and say, look, this is what we want, because what the people want is never represented. Never.
Correct.
Never. Yep. Because, I mean, people feel powerless because of the federal government, because of the state government. I just think that people need to
keep protesting in a good way.
Well, maybe.
Protesting is, I think, beneficial
when you're positive.
It's just it's whenever the riot starts.
Well, it's becoming a negative.
Well, they're just trying to get attention.
They're making it a negative with the Nike thing with Colin Kaepernick. They're trying to make it like this thing where
I think the Nike thing was fucking genius. They're going to make so much money. You don't think they all sat down at a table and thought about this before they did it? No.
That
was a fucking genius-ass mood right there.
It is. If it's for Nike to make money, you're absolutely right.
Of course.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Genius.
If you're Nike, you're getting so much news and publicity.
Oh, yeah.
Genius,
That's a very good idea. I agree.
Have you seen the videos of just some random person like me making a YouTube video for 5 minutes of how he takes every shirt and every gym shorts and every shoe that he has? And he,
that's what everybody's
cuts
talking
out
about right now.
How much of Nike? How much of your soul does Nike own? That's my question.
I don't have a Nike butt plug yet, but I don't think they make butt plugs.
Interesting. That's awkward.
So Nike
Get
has
on it, Nike.
not been up my ass yet.
Hold on, we have to talk about the terrorists sometimes.
I was going to grab a beer. I'm not taking a break. I'm just saying I'm going to grab out there. So can you guys burn this? Has the courts gone too far?
You going to grab me one too?
Sure. Just keep on talking about it.
Can you give me a bush as well?
Yes.
Don't forget the lime.
Would you like an ice water?
Can you get a lime and make sure you shake it up a little bit?
I'm perfectly fine.
Thank you, B. Appreciate it. B's easy. I can tell.
Damn straight.
Keep on going while I'm gone.
Okay, so we'll talk about are the terrorists sometimes right?
No. Burn the blind justice down, and then I'll be back.
Burn it down? I don't know what the fuck that means.
Talk about it, and then we'll get to the terrorists. Come on, man.
Are we talking about the Nike?
God, it's so hard to fucking
Because
do.
I love it. I think it's insane, like how this is all happening.
No, why don't we just go?
But then
to
they
the-
keep saying, "Oh, well, you already bought it, so why does it matter if you burned it?" Which I think is stupid because they're obviously going to stop buying it, so that's going to lose money. But
Let's just go to the next topic.
How many people are really going to stop buying Nike brand?
no, I think a lot of people are going to stop buying it, but I
I'm
think a
not.
shit ton more are going to start buying it
Why are they going to stop buying it?
because it's just their pride. They're just
That's their
they
protest.
don't.
No.
That's
What's
their
the
protest.
protest?
That's their,
What is the protest?
It is stupid either way. Like
Believe
if
in what you
stop
believe
buying
in and
it or
just
start buying
do
it.
it.
It's
Just do
stupid.
it. That's what it all has to do. Believe in what you believe
It's
in.
ridiculous.
Period. If you don't believe in what he believes in, it doesn't matter. That's his thoughts. Like just do what you believe in. That's what it all comes down to.
It's so commercialized, though. That's what I hate about it, is the fact that he's trying to do something that might be real. You know, like he might actually feel legitimately upset about the fact that, black people are being, shot in the streets by cops, and suddenly it becomes like this advertisement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is that right?
But it's so real, and people don't realize like how real it actually is. Like I said before, unless it's actually happened to you, it will change your life when it happens to you. When you actually witness it for yourself, you'll be like, wow, this is what it's all about. Like, this is what people are protesting about.
But don't you think it's bullshit, though, that Nike is trying to sell shoes based on that terrible thing that people go through?
I think it was a huge advertising move for them. I think they absolutely thought about this for a long time, and it was a huge deal that they put out there, and they're going to make so much fucking money off of
yeah,
this.
they're going to make a lot of they're going to make a lot of money.
This
What do you
was
think
not a
about
bad
it?
move
Well,
on their part. They were very smart when they thought about this, and there's a lot of people that are against it because they don't look at the whole picture of it. But this was absolutely a great move.
No, it
for
is
sure.
very smart. No, I totally agree.
And I
Go
mean, I
ahead.
see what you're saying. You're like,
You're commercializing people being dead
I think
to sell shoes.
I think Kaepernick's original message was very poignant, and
Yeah.
this waters it down a little bit. It certainly, definitely waters down his original message for sure.
I would agree. I mean, please go on.
You had to put it in the mic.
He wants to make it sound more refreshing. Did you get the line? Oh my God, you forgot the
Is
fucking
Colin
line.
Kaepernick
I put it
selling
in there.
Bush?
Jesus.
Huh?
This is what happens when you have a woman on the show.
How do you
she demands a
wait, hold
Corona.
on. We need comments right now. Do you put a lime in the Corona?
Nope.
I
the
put lime in it,
lime in
I
the
squeezed it, and then I
coconut.
shook it, and I drank it a little bit because it started exploding out. Can we go on with the show?
Oh, you
please?
did? Okay, cool. Thanks.
They do not put lime in the Corona in Mexico.
Yeah, you know why?
Every time you open a Corona, the lime gets. What's the commercial? I don't
Put
know.
the lime in the Coke.
Put the lime in the coconut.
Lift it up. Lift it. Take it out. Now put it back in. Jesus.
Oh, God, I've heard that before. I'm just kidding.
Push it in like a man. Like, grab. There you go, buddy. Good job.
Like a man, he says.
All right. What were we just talking about? We only have one more topic, people, and I promise we're done.
Are the terrorists sometimes right?
You're really worried about me getting home on time, aren't you?
Yeah. All right.
I do not have a curfew, I promise.
All right. So we were already talking about our terrorist right?
Not yet.
Okay, so you burned down the blind
We are-
justice.
we are-
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big fucking topic that we're getting into. at,
Okay. Are
11:69.
terrorists sometimes right? Blue. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I really don't have any opinion. I'm just saying that sometimes when you look at the terrorist attacks, are we going to look at why they did the terrorist attack in the first place? We always look at, the conclusion of it. All these people died, and it's tragic and everything, but why did they actually do it? Osama bin Laden, Timothy McVeigh. Why did they do it? What do you think?
They did it for, in some cases, religious reasons. They did it sometimes for political reasons, geopolitical reasons. They've done it for money. Terrorists do things for a wide assortment of reasons. Our country was founded on certain things. The Boston Tea Party. That technically could have been defined as a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
So what makes us right in doing that, but then them wrong in doing these, so every culture has stories.
And Blue, when we were, thinking about what topics we should do for this particular live podcast, Going Dutch Radio Network on Facebook and YouTube right now, and also iTunes, please comment and call in. when we were talking about the topics for tonight, you brought up the Unabomber. You brought up multiple of these lone wolf terrorists that did heinous things, but their ideology, either it was months or years prior or leading up to, kind of sounded not righteous. But can you kind of explain? Because I kind of partially agree with what you were talking about.
Well, like, for instance, Ted Kaczynski, he wrote the Unabomber Manifesto, and he was talking about how technology sort of segregates us from our own humanity, how one, goes through life to where they don't, kill an animal and they don't feel that sense of accomplishment. It's a very difficult thing to talk about, to really get to. Can you help me out?
Go on.
Well, I mean, I really don't know exactly what you're asking of me.
Okay, you were stating that these terrorists that these people that did heinous crimes had these ideologies prior to saying, like, technology is the reason why it's going to shit. You stated that, and
right,
like, talk about it, buddy. This is the time to talk about it.
All right, goddamn.
Get your big boy pants on and do it. Just do it, like
Be
Nike.
the history teacher.
All right. No, but basically the thing is that, like, terrorists, whenever they attack people, they have a reason for it, okay? And the reason they want to attack people is because they have some sort of specific ideology that they adhere to, whether it's Osama bin Laden. And his idea was that he is an adherent to Islam and feels that, God wants to tell us to do things a certain way. With Timothy McVeigh, he was actually pissed off about the fact that there were a few Christian people who were, I don't know.
No, you're doing fine. Go on. I mean, seriously, this is what's really interesting.
Well, no, I'm like used to people like kind of like like having.
You want me to talk up like
having the potato? Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll keep on doing it. Do it.
Yes.
Go. Keep on talking seriously. I'm not trying to be funny.
No, I'm so tired. Come on.
See, told you, man. It gets weird towards the end of the show. He's gonna.
Well, no, I mean, like, you're actually asking me to be a teacher about an entire generalized.
Come on, Professor
topic.
Blue.
About how it's something. This is a topic that you came up with of why terrorists are sometimes right.
Well, yeah, I came up with it because, like, no one else came up with any other topic.
I'll come up with the topic.
Oh, here, come up with the topic then.
On that note, I have subtopics about this topic. So let's talk about it.
Let's topic it.
I think it's a mainly like religious thing, kind of.
Well, I mean, just from what Blue just only stated, it is true. Like, there's always a righteous, feel-good thing of why they are doing terroristic, terrible things to
Don't
other
they
people.
feel like the more people they kill or something, the closer they get to, like, whatever they believe in?
Allah.
I mean, that's radical Islam, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's pretty damn interesting. There's always, like, I feel like most of these people that do these Unabomber, all these crazy things have happened in the past 30-something years, these, lone wolf terrorists, it's never like, I just hate everybody, and I just want to fucking kill everyone.
No, it's like the more people you kill, the better you are.
Well, I'm saying it's none of them state that. They're like, I just hate everybody, I just want everyone to die. It's always like there's some real ideology, there's some real reason, whether it's religious or whether it's because they feel like
get taken care of.
Yeah, they feel like technology is taking over, so they need to depopulate the people. There's always some crazy but almost righteous reason to them that almost in a snippet kind of makes sense. Not why they're killing people, of at least what they're talking about. Their ideology kind of does make sense. You know what I mean? Would you agree, Blue?
All right, I totally know. All right, I know what I'm going to talk about now. Okay, so basically, like, there's Ted Kaczynski,
yes,
the Unabomber.
Yes,
all right?
Yes, that's
exactly who we want to get on.
Right. No one talk.
So Ted Kaczynski, he was the Unabomber. He killed people. He basically sent bombs into people's mail. It wasn't good. But he actually had. He had a very good reason to kill people.
Wow.
Not a reason that we should accept as civilians, but his explanation for it made sense. He felt that technology was taking us away from our sense of humanity. All right. So you're talking about the fact that we do not hunt our own food. We do not do whatever we have to do to be humans, to survive, to continue. We are basically separated from that by technology.
Okay. Yeah, totally agree. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I feel like one day we're gonna be all back to that. We're gonna be hunting for animals. That's like how we're gonna survive.
Well, there's like nothing left. You know,
I mean, when the world's starting
what
to
are we gonna
end,
do?
like that's what we're gonna be back to.
It's
gonna get so out of control where it's just gonna all
the human intuition, the human instinct, the instinct to hunt, the instinct to be animalistic is fucking gone. Okay, and this is the
grow
one.
your own gardens, people.
Right.
Get back to reality.
Yeah, be farmers. And you know, subtopics is, and this is a perfect one. This is actually why we did these subtopics. Is the world too soft? Meaning, are we so censored? Are we so soft?
It's so hard to define what he was talking about. You know, our
Yes.
essence of what it is to be a human being. You know, like, you know, I mean, there's a man, there's a woman. Like, I mean, what does a man do? Does a man go and fucking?
Damn.
I mean, a man has to go hunt food and kill it
Provide
to feel
for
like
his-
a man.
Provide for his family and
to provide for his family.
My name is Michael Bolton.
That's what he was talking about, and he feels like that is what is causing depression in the average male and or female.
The human touch, literally. I mean, think about it. What do we do right now?
You go to the grocery store, you buy meat, you know, doot, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you give them money, and it has nothing to do with the idea that you go out there and use your own instinct. That
Shit,
you,
I had to work hard to buy those groceries.
And
though.
there's no village, there's no
about it.
community anymore. It's
Yeah.
every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck alone, be isplated, and you
This
survive.
world's fucked up. That's all it comes down to.
No, but this is what I like to get into. Have we been handed to on a silver platter? Have we been handed to as humans these days on a silver platter? Like we are just given shit now, so much. Like there's no before. Like if you were poor and you were starving, guess what? You fucking died. And that doesn't happen anymore. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
it's still.
Well, I mean, people are kind of happy that doesn't happen. But
I'm not arguing that.
Not
I'm just
Ted Kaczynski.
I think you're ran more by the government, is what it is. You know.
Well, exactly.
It's-
Here's the thing.
That's what people keep voting for.
Along with technology, B. I mean, for instance, you know, is it a good thing that technology is advancing so much that it's getting so easy to do certain things?
It depends on your personal perspective on it. You know, like if you are somebody who is very hands-on, like I want to go kill this deer, skin the deer, cook the meat, smoke the meat, everything like that, then yeah,
fuck the meat.
It's probably.
Definitely.
But if you're somebody like that, then yeah, you're going to be against technological advances because it's.
Could that be a fetish topic?
Oh, fucking dead animals, necrophiliacs? Absolutely.
Wait, have you guys talked about fetish topics yet?
No, come on. Keep
Okay,
on
next
going,
time
B.
I'm on the
Anyways.
show, that's what we're talking about.
But if you're somebody like me who I literally cannot lift over 50 pounds. Not physically. I can lift anything that is within my weight class.
You're a fucking man.
I'm a man. But like doctors have told me, do not lift over 50 pounds. You will get a third hernia. I really don't want a third hernia. Hernias suck. So I can't lift over 50 pounds. So for somebody like me, I need to depend on technology in order to get anything. Otherwise, I'm going to be.
So what
Or
you're trying to
to
say is
depend on someone else.
What you're trying to say is if you have a dog and you like to buy a giant bulk of dog food, you have Amazon deliver instead of picking it up yourself at Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn straight.
And yeah, and Ted Kaczynski was saying that is going to cause a lot of issues. It's going to cause people to feel depression. They're going to feel like, you know, they aren't going to feel connected to the biological selves that they were centuries ago.
I mean, I'm definitely depressed, but more because the housing market's still shit, and the economy is apparently on an uphill climb. But I'm seeing no benefits of it.
Think about technology because of the reason, you know, we're on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we're on Snapchat, we're on Pornhub, we're on XTube, we are on RapeMe.com, we're on I want to
Keep
RapeMe.com.
going, keep going. What do you want? Tell the world, what do you want?
I mean, I do like Pornhub, but because of social media, because of technology, we just text each other. We just we have such these fake lives on Snapchat. You know, like when people are on Facebook and Snapchat, and you take your story, you're like, oh my God, I'm at this bar and it's so good with my husband and my boyfriend, and life is just so perfect.
And then they set the phone down. They're like, ugh.
They're on the verge of a fucking marriage. Their marriage is about to collapse. Their whole lives are about to be ruined. The fucking husband's, you know, he has a good job and he's about to be fucking fired because he's
and he's cheating on her.
Exactly. But you know what? In Facebook,
sounds like sour grapes to me.
But listen, in Snapchat and Facebook, everything just seems so perfect. Your life is so fake.
Wait, say that again. So perfect.
It's so perfect. You know, life is so fake on social media, and with technology, you know. I feel like partially technology is definitely ruining the true human touch, so to speak.
I don't think it's I don't think it's necessarily.
Well,
technology.
didn't people fake? You know, whenever they talk to their neighbors, you know, they see their neighbors next door and they're like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" "Oh, me and the wife are doing just fine." You know what I'm saying? I mean.
No,
I mean they did the same exact fucking thing.
No, but we just hold on real quick.
That definitely still happens in my neck of the woods.
On social media. It's the same thing.
Not on social media. That definitely happens out in the boonies.
It definitely does.
Yeah,
but
like, people will drive into my girlfriend's driveway or my girlfriend's parents' driveway all the time and just to say hi.
But here's the thing.
Definitely still happens.
In the neighborhood I live,
that's not happening.
Webster Groves. No one talks to each other. Nobody. Okay? I pulled a gun on my next door neighbor. That's not a joke. I swear to God, I've talked about this multiple times. The first time I met them, because I thought it was a fucking criminal. I thought they were trying to break in. It was a lady that gave me a $30 gift card saying "Welcome to the neighborhood," and I pulled a gun on her. I swear to God, it really happened. But that we don't talk to each other anymore.
Well, of course you wouldn't talk to her. You pulled the gun on her.
Wait, did you bring her cookies after that at least?
But here's the thing. I'm kind of going the opposite of what I wanted to say, because if she just would have texted me or maybe Facebooked me and say, "Welcome to the neighborhood," then I couldn't have physically pulled a gun on her. Maybe technology is a good thing.
Do this?
I swear to God, in my life. On everything. That's awesome. And I had to have a gun.
See, this world's just crazy.
It's a great story.
I talked to all my neighbors.
It's crazy that
neighbors
you think
are all
after
super
you
nice.
after you pull a gun on your neighbor, you expect her to like you after that?
Did she give you the brownies still or whatever she was giving you?
Do what now? Sorry, say that again.
Did she still give you the brownies or whatever she was bringing you? Or did she just say, "Welcome to the neighborhood"?
She gave me that V. She's 70 years old, but I'll take it.
That's awful.
How dare she?
I'm just joking.
After you pulled the gun on her.
On a 7-year-old baby.
It turned her on. It was weird.
God.
One thing leads to another. Wow. But technology, you know, is...
I just wonder where it's going to be in the next, 50 years, 100 years. Like when my
think
baby's older,
Google,
where's it going to be?
One of the biggest corporations ever, Google. Yeah, that's right. The thing that you use to fucking look up stuff. Pornhub, Xtube, all that stuff.
Keep going.
They are right now trying to build, automation trucks, semi trucks that can drive themselves. So once that finally becomes mainstream, which it will, without a doubt, all the truckers will not have a job anymore. Mm-hmm. Think about logistically speaking, all the people that work for UPS. You know how many fucking millions of unionized jobs are out there? Hundreds of thousands, millions. Think about USPS, the mail company that is the biggest privatized / kind of publicly company ever. They hire millions of people that deliver mail. It's going to be gone pretty soon. It's going to be all electronic without a doubt. 100%. I cannot believe it hasn't been.
I doubt it.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, well, eventually.
I doubt it, no.
You can't tell me in 100 years from now there's still going to be a mail truck going around giving you mail in your mailbox.
I think so. Yeah, I think that. I think the government.
It's all going to be electronic. There's going to be no such thing as mail. It's going to be all electronic.
Yeah, well, I cannot believe it isn't.
There's so many employees. There's so many employees. So many people who
will be laid off.
You electronically sign things now. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I think you're talking about human beings who would not have a job. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, I think it absolutely will
right
happen.
now, Amazon in 2 major cities use drones, literally drones, to deliver packages.
Yep. Well, no, I mean, honestly, the mail carriers, they probably should have been out of a job 10 years ago.
I agree. I'm not saying they should be, and it's sad if
I don't
they
think it's anytime soon that they're going to be out of a job, though.
Not anytime soon, but
I really don't think so.
They're not going to be there forever.
Talking about companies moving technology forward, Amazon has an entire store that is just completely automated.
You told me about this.
Yeah, it's completely automated. There's no cashiers. The only people that are there are literally a manager that's there for returns and making sure that everybody's finding everything.
Because just imagine a computer could not handle a returns department at a fucking grocery store or any store. Could you imagine?
Might
Like,
make it easier.
oh, are you kidding me? Oh, the computer's like, no, you cannot return. Like, there's no argument. You know what I mean?
But I mean, you know that Walmart and Target and all of the big box retail stores are sitting there just like, okay, how do we do that?
Yeah,
because
I mean,
that
it's-
means less overhead for them. And
Okay.
as long as we live in here we go. I'm gonna get political with it.
do it, bitch.
As long as we live in a capitalist society,
Yeah.
shit like that is gonna make millions, and there's gonna be millions invested into it instead of being invested into the working class. Because we live in a capitalist society, it's all about how do we make as much money as possible, and how do you make more money? Lower overhead. No, like slash your number of employees for Walmart in half.
And not only that, exactly from what you were saying, this grocery store or market that Amazon has built, where there is no employees at all. You know, they have, it's kind of like a Walgreens, but a little bit bigger, right? They have groceries, they have not butt plugs, they have condoms, they have.
You got a thing with butt plugs, don't you?
Absolutely. They have a little bit of everything. So there's no employees, and not only that, there's there's hundreds of cameras, if I'm not mistaken, right? There's hundreds of cameras.
And sensors on every shelf.
Obviously, if you're going inside a physical store that is owned by Amazon, you're probably on Amazon quite a bit online, too, to buy stuff. So what they do, they have multiple cameras that sense where your eyes are looking at. So if you just happen to browse by a product and stop for 3 seconds just to kind of look at, like, oh, wait, what was that? But you just kept them walking and didn't buy it, that ad will pop up on your website. It will pop up on Google. It'll just happen to pop
so
up.
creepy.
And Amazon will get paid because they were the people
Because you looked at the butt plug.
Because you looked at the butt plug that was for sale that you didn't buy. And that the reason
it was by Nike.
And now that the ad
No, you
from
were embarrassed,
Nike,
so you went home and ordered that shit online.
fuck yeah, it's unmarked box.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So you're saying that the capitalist society is bad because
several reasons.
He's so old-fashioned.
No, and I mean I totally agree with a lot of what you're saying, but so what we're talking about basically is. I mean, we've kind of gone around and around. I mean,
keep on going. What were you about to say?
What were you about to say?
Nothing. I'm waiting for you. I'm not waiting. I'm interested.
No. Like I'm kind of like wondering what the actual
Technology.
The conclusion is.
Technology is making the human intuition, the human touch.
We all need to get back to our roots, you
Yes.
know? Get back to your roots.
Wait, so you're against automation? Is that what you're saying?
I am against certain parts of technology. Is technology probably good morally, and is it going to advance humans in general in surviving 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, 1,000 years? Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are becoming so desensitized / censored.
Yeah, I mean, so you're agreeing with the fact that, we do not need to do any sort of, have machines take care of a lot of the things that, humans typically do.
Just imagine if technology...
It's a good and a bad thing.
It is. Yeah, there's a yin and a yang. Think about technology. For how fast technology is advancing right now. Imagine the internet was so slow where he lives as well.
Jesus Christ, it's so bad.
It's so bad.
So terrible.
Wait,
Think
do you live
about
that
it.
far?
Think about technology back in the day. Like only 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it took 20 minutes just to load up.
Wait, remember
one
when
picture on
somebody-
the internet of a butt plug?
You remember when someone couldn't be on the internet and then somebody used the phone at the same time? It was like, hey, get off the phone. I'm going to use the internet.
Think
like,
about that.
that's
Yeah,
scary.
no, I totally went through that.
How many
all
people?
the time.
How many? Can you guys guess like the percentage of how many people owned cell phones 20 years ago? It was almost non-existent.
Not that many.
Okay, it's
Not that many at
It's
all.
ridiculous. And think
about how many people. The first iPhone came out and they were like, "Oh, I don't need that."
Yes.
And now, literally, if you still have a flip phone, you literally call it an antique or a dinosaur.
Exactly.
Every time it comes into the store, it's like,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
what's
I
like-
get the joke. I hear it like 100 times a day. Calm down.
Yes, and not only that, just think about it. Technology is advancing that fast, and it's rapid. Technology advances about twofold every single year. So technology gets that much faster.
Wait, did you see at McDonald's you can like take your order now with a thing?
Oh my god, that just happened to me.
It's
I just
taking over
people,
the world.
I just want to let you know, I don't eat fast food really, hardly ever. But today we and I went to McDonald's and I saw that I was going to take an order on a fucking
Wait, who's
screen.
we and I?
The royal me, the royal we. You know what I mean? Like it's me, myself, and I. Okay, I'm an fucking asshole, so it's just me. You know, I went to McDonald's and I was going to order myself a meal and I was going to scroll on the screen. There was a giant screen that I could order it myself and that was going to lose an employee's job. So I yelled out because I'm fucking ridiculous. Is there anybody who works here?
Christ.
And everybody at the place like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Here we go again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Here goes another viral YouTube video, right?
Yep.
Wait, do you use checkout lines?
And right before I whipped out my dick. I didn't do it though. I was going to create that viral video, but I didn't.
I use self-checkout every time.
Are the terrorists right about going through the drive-through? That's what I want to know.
Going through the drive-through?
because I don't know how to respond to what the fuck you're talking about. Because are the terrorists right?
You're taking away people's jobs basically when they say like boycott like what's it called, the checkout or self-checkout. You should always go to an employer because you're taking away their jobs basically.
All I'm saying is technology is driving people crazy. And the examples that you gave.
Jobs.
Yes, there we go. Okay.
You came up with this topic. We came up with these subtopics.
Well, I don't know where the fuck we're at. We're in the well right now. We're at the bottom of the goddamn well.
We went to the point of it's just taking away people's jobs, basically.
Exactly.
It's a good and a bad thing. There's
it's also
cons
creating
and
jobs.
there's
I'm sorry.
Technology can create jobs, but at the same time, just think of all the dumb, ridiculous jobs that are out there in the world that can easily be replaced.
Do you feel separated though from
Church
who
and state.
you are as a human being because of your job? Do you feel like your job, tells you to act a certain way to where whenever you go home at night, you're like, God damn it, I'm not who I used to be.
No.
I'm not B. I'm not Jackie. I'm not Cody. What's your CJ? I'm not who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
You don't feel like exactly who you're supposed to be.
And that's half the reason.
Because of your job.
Hell, not half the. That's probably most of the reason why I want to do this podcast, so we can bitch and argue and banter about it.
How do you feel? Do you feel the same way?
I mean, yeah, I've been working in retail for goddamn too long, and retail takes something out of you. It really does. Like it makes you
the beard.
I was in retail.
The beard.
I was totally in retail.
You look like
I feel like I'm the same person. I don't feel like it's taken. But with my job, I feel like I talk to people like I'm just me. Like I don't think.
I try to be.
Oh, you're fake as shit at your job. You need to stop. That's your response right there.
I tried to climb the corporate ladder,
and he has, and he's good at it, which means he's fake as shit.
I am fake as
shit. A
sociopath. I am a sociopath.
Would you kill somebody?
Absolutely.
Oh
if I can make $100 grand more a year.
I don't think you should say that on the podcast. And you pulled a gun on a 70-year-old lady.
My neighbor. Who cares?
So basically, you feel that morality has no play in your life.
Zero.
Nothing?
No.
Why?
Because I don't care.
You feel that the whole religion thing is bullshit? That morality is just to keep you down?
I think religion is 100% bullshit.
No.
Oh,
well,
stop.
all right,
Don't
fine.
go there.
All right, fine.
That's a whole nother topic.
But what about the
Lord,
idea?
please forgive him.
What about the idea that, sometimes there's things you weren't supposed to do to your other fellow man?
What the fuck? What do you think I'm doing?
I don't know. I don't know what is going on in your brain.
Because of technology and because of how the world works, unfortunately, these days, because of technology, every man's for himself. An eye for a fucking eye. Dog eat dog world, bitch.
I thought we're supposed to come together right now.
Come together? Fucking slit your throat together.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
So you would slit my throat, maybe.
You're trying to say how much money would it take for me to murder you? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
you don't want to know.
Come together, help each other.
Wow.
Pray for each other.
I have $0.00 to.
And this thing, I'm glad you guys are on the show. I want you guys to come back.
Wait, me? Did you like me being on the show?
Yeah.
No.
Can we comment if you want me to come back on the show?
Guys.
Jackie, honestly, you're doing a very good job.
Am I? I'm just being me.
Whoa.
It's not a job. I'm not trying. I'm just me.
I'm not even saying that. You're doing a very good job.
The way he's saying that, you were expecting her to do a terrible job.
Ooh.
No, not really. I
Should we
think,
reach to our technology to see what they think?
see, you want me to think that way.
Here's the thing. Everybody, you can bitch about technology as much as I do, or there's tons of other people like, I just want to live in the woods and do nothing.
It's not even
but-
about technology. It's
No, but-
it's about.
I think it should
very-
just stop. Like, stop where we're at right now. Just
But
don't do
everybody,
anymore,
everybody is going to be a hypocrite. Okay, as far as technology goes, I can be a hypocrite and talk so much shit about it, but at the end of the day, the only reason why people are watching this podcast is because of technology.
100%.
The only reason why I can buy butt plugs anonymously is because of technology.
I'm gonna go through your drawers later. I'm just saying.
Dude,
I gotta see what you got going on.
Just
over here.
literally walk in the bedroom. There was one on the nightstand on the right side, like just two of them standing. One of them's like fucking this tall.
Wait, is it for you or for someone else?
One of them is literally called, and I'm not kidding, folks, the purple dinosaur. It's like this big.
Ooh.
It's not a butt plug, but I mean, I swear to
Purple
God, the
dinosaur.
entire
Wait,
thing.
can we Google
is-
it and look at a picture of it? Just do it.
It's not called the purple dinosaur. I know how to look it up.
Do it.
I quit.
Do it.
No. Guys, we are talking about, and we have we have to end the show in exactly 5 minutes, otherwise, everyone's gonna die.
Oh no. Cody's
Um,
gonna pull it out.
Last but not least, are we still human?
I think people have lost their inner self. People are just gone. There's so much anxiety, so much depression. There's so much just worry.
And I mean, I know you don't.
No, really,
I know
there
you don't
is,
play
because-
video games, but
I don't.
Yes, whenever I am at work, I feel like a NPC, non-playable character.
Oh, here we go.
Like I literally
Like a
do.
robot?
I feel like I'm AI.
Mr.
I feel like I am
Roboto.
totally AI. I could be replaced with AI at any given point,
Oh,
and
me
it would
too.
not.
Absolutely.
I would not care in the world because
That's because you're not upselling enough. You don't have that
Yeah.
human character
Yeah,
like I do.
yeah, of course.
Talk about this salesman over here.
Yeah.
He works for the same place I do, so that's
Oh,
the
shut
reason
up.
why.
Okay.
You can't be a use skin.
He's
You
a
can't just
dickwad
like,
over
hey, I
here.
need this. Okay, here's this bulb. You're just bad. No, you fucking you.
You make them motherfuckers buy
Oh
it.
no, I can absolutely do that.
Okay.
But
a
there,
use scan or a self scan cannot do that.
correct, exactly. That's why.
And that's why there's spiff.
Exactly. That's why our company will probably always exist, which is crazy.
Kind of like casinos.
Exactly.
Kind of like the liquor.
always going to exist. But at the same time, like whenever I'm at home, I still don't feel like I'm fully human because what am I doing? I get home and I'm
masturbating.
Unfortunately not. I'm watching
Pulling the butt
YouTube
plug
or I'm
out.
watching Twitch or I'm watching something
Yeah.
and
Everything feels
or playing
artificial.
something. And even when I'm just out with my girlfriend hanging out, we're still on our phones. We're still doing something. And it's because we're so mentally drained from work that
Yeah.
we just want to check out and not be a part of this world or this realm right now.
So
You wanna wind
so
down.
you don't want to do anything technologically. You just want to kind of just be away from.
No.
all
If
that
anything,
stuff.
he's trying to say I mean, it's not that you don't want to because you purposely do, just like
Mm-hmm.
everybody else does. You can on your phone. You could be sitting.
You need to wind down from the crazy.
Imagine, you could be sitting on the same couch as you and your girl, or you and your mate.
Sorry if I completely
and
got
both
that wrong.
no, not necessarily. But both of you, both of you could be sitting right next to each other
I
after
farted.
work. You farted, but you guys are on the phone, and like
Totally did.
Let me ask you this: have you been so close to your significant other, but you guys are still texting each other, even though you're literally in the same room?
Mm-hmm.
I've been texting him when he's sitting right next to me.
Exactly. Like, how fucked up is that? And everybody does
Like,
it.
let's go upstairs. You know?
Yeah.
I mostly
You cooking dinner?
we mostly use it as a way like, hey, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Or my kids are near, and it's like, hey, you want to go fuck? Let's go.
You want a butt plug in your ass, boy?
But is that bad though? I mean, are we just evolving from what we were before?
Well, here's the thing. I totally agree with you. Everybody complains about how their life is as is, and everybody complains about the generation that is younger than them. Everybody always complains about the youth of today.
God, my generation gets shat on.
No,
so much.
But, okay, think about the newer millennials, the ones that haven't even been named yet.
Oh no, they're Gen Z.
Gen Zs.
Gen Zs?
Are they all gingers?
No.
Like, are they all soulless?
Generation Z.
Generation Z's. Like, everything is always looked down upon, but everybody's done that for decades, 20 years, 30 years, hundreds of years. Everyone always looks down. Everybody does.
These goddamn kids and
And
their
you know
music.
what? 15, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, life's going to be completely different. We're going to be irrelevant and we're going to die. And
It's gonna take a little longer than that.
Our fucking kids are going to fucking think that we're fucking old and pieces of shit, just like we think the people who are 70 or 80 years old are so self-righteous and you know, well, oh God, I'm fucking cheap and I'm
goddamn baby boomers.
No, think about it
Yeah,
though.
baby boomers get fucked. I mean, seriously, to me, one of my favorite films of all time is The Big Show, and it's about baby boomers, and they're so pissed off about the world. You know what? If you lived in that time when you could get drafted to Vietnam, one of the worst wars of all time, and your buddy next door is fighting a war that you don't even fucking care about,
what is it good for?
I'm telling you.
Absolutely nothing.
That's gonna mean something in your politics.
Exactly.
So,
but
you know,
everybody always complains about
the baby
next
boomers.
generation.
Oh, the baby boomers are terrible.
You know, we're gonna complain about, oh God, kids these days, they always are on their phone. They're always using, you know.
That's how they were raised.
Exactly.
What about the people with the newspaper? They used to look at newspapers constantly.
Guys,
you know what I'm saying?
This is Going Dutch Radio Network. We need to end the show. Going Dutch Radio Network, we went live tonight at 8 p.m. Central.
3
Thank you
hours.
guys for commenting,
Jesus
calling
Christ.
in. We greatly appreciate it. We were live, just like we are right now, on Facebook, YouTube, and this will be on iTunes tomorrow morning, officially. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Please have a little bit of input since I just abruptly interrupted that last topic. B.
I mean, technology can be good and it can be bad. It just depends on who's pulling the strings of it. If their motives are to make money, it's more than likely going to be a bad thing.
Whoa, you turned off. Here. Actually, don't
Say it again. Say it again.
Cody, your ass stinks.
Bitch, I'm famous because of technology.
Oh my God.
No. Bring me back.
All right, guys, we talked about Elon Musk smoking weed on Joe Rogan podcast. We talked about Nike. Yes, the swoosh company.
I missed that one. I wish I would have been there.
Taking a knee. Hypocrites of America is disrespecting the flag, okay? We also, about halfway through the podcast, talked about 9/11, the conspiracy, the secrets, the betrayal of America. Does blind justice still exist? Has the courts gone too far? And last but not least,
butt plugs.
Are the terrorists sometimes right? Is the world too soft? Do we reap what we sow? People. And are we still human? That's what we talked about tonight. Going Dutch Radio Network. Thank you guys for watching. We greatly appreciate it. Please comment and like us. Please subscribe. I'm telling you, it helps us so fucking much. It's ridiculous. It really does. People don't realize that until you get into, business, Yes. Any
Absolutely.
final thoughts? Any final thoughts? Anybody? Any final words? We got 10 seconds.
I got nothing.
Vote for Jackie.
All right, guys. I am CJ, your host. This is Going Dutch Radio Network, and we're out.
Good